speak in the meeting, you better put your hand up too.
All right. We are live. Make sure everything's all good here. Everything's all good here. We have John Denicola with us. And John Denicola is trying to tell anybody that if they want to get into this meeting, that they should raise their hands.
As soon as you get in there.
Oops. It took it away. Bow. Got it back. Apparently, you can't just go switching stuff. There is a lot of people there.
Yes, there is. A lot of people in the meeting, and there's a lot of people on Zoom.
Our boy showed up.
Damn. Which one would that be?
Man, I forget his name, but it's a guy that we've met on the street while we've been talking. He says he was going to go to one of the meetings, so it looks like he actually showed up.
Oh, it's good.
Conrad.
Oh yeah, Conrad.
More the merrier.
Conrad, that's right. Ooh, the train. What's up, John Smith? Yeah, there's no audio right now because they've got everything muted up. Apparently, we missed the hot mic incident. There was a little hot mic. But then they stopped the recording. Let's see if they actually restart the recording, unlike last meeting where you got about halfway through public comment before anybody realized that they weren't recording. We got Myron in here. What's up, Eminem Otis? What's up, bro? Long time no see, no talk to. How you been? Bing bong. Messages. You gotta love that ambient sound of Walsenburg.
This meeting is being recorded.
Known for its trains. Looks like a lot of people want to speak too.
To get ready, like shift it this way.
Your microphones are hot. They should care.
I should always care.
See, we missed a hot mic moment.
Nah, not really. Although Gina did go over and talk to the chief of police when they saw me come in.
That really messed me up.
I didn't even realize until he called me to tell me we weren't supposed to be here. That was probably my fault. I wasn't going to be here on time then.
All right, it got me back from Trinidad. I know he asked me for your number. I was like, I guess. Oh, might as well.
It could be around here someplace, isn't it? Hey.
See, just come. Sounds very entertainment.
Man, my feet are soaked.
Grab some chairs out of that break room, maybe.
Yeah, Gary.
Okay.
Man, they're at standing room. Oh, I'm kind of sad I missed
It
this
cleared the
meeting.
smoke out.
I hope so. Jeez.
And you guys remember what street that was on that they were blocking the handicap ramp.
Usually, unless you're.
It's not really a street, it's a park.
So clean air, whatever. And last night before bed, it was like low, running faster than usual. I'm like, wow, that's weird, you know? And then today, all day, the same thing. And today I can see why, because stuff's in the air.
It was been more south than that, wasn't it?
We need a few more.
Oh, wow, man. I don't know if
Seemed
they
like it
can
should be
hold
coming
this
down
meeting.
here someday.
Yeah, I know. Look at that river.
I haven't heard there was a.
That was a good rain.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow, that's a lot of people. I don't know if they can hold this meeting. I don't think they got enough chairs.
Rains.
Springs.
Partner Westlands.
I heard.
If there are more people waiting to get in and there's no room, they'd have to reschedule the meeting to
We have a
find
seat.
the biggest space.
Some people have some seats, some don't.
I expect a full house. There's nowhere to park out there.
Oh, it's the. Lord knows. They're on.
Mountain. 45. No. That's what I'm, no, John pointed at it.
6 and 7, 43.
43. 40. There's only
Good.
Can I give you this? Oh, yeah.
Sorry, she told me she already has it.
Oh, I don't want to see
For the
one.
month previous.
Go get chairs, or what do
I
you,
think so.
I can tell these people go get their own.
These are.
Huh? John, go. Oh. In our next room over in our conference room, there's some more chairs. If somebody wants one, just feel free to go grab one. You got enough here? Okay, we're okay. You ready, Gina?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the time is now 6 o'clock. I'll call the regular city meeting of August 4th to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Bazzani.
Here.
Veronica Smith.
Here.
Paul Stafford.
Here.
Jennifer Novak. Here. Fred Ecker. John Martinez.
Here.
Pamela Brightweiser.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. Ed, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd entertain a motion for the approval of tonight's agenda. Move to Clifford.
Second.
Second by Jennifer Novak. Any concerns, additions, all in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
Hi, Lori.
Same thing with the city council minutes.
I make a motion to approve the city council regular meeting minutes of 7/21/28.
I got a motion by Don Martinez. Second by Ronald Stafford. Any additions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
I,
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Moving on to administration staff reports. Mr. Vanelli, do you have anything to add?
No, sir.
Council, you have the enclosure. You got any questions? We'll move on down to Mr. Hyatt's report.
can I just add a congratulations on being a good police department?
You
What
absolutely.
was the name of that? Let's call that out.
Ethic cards.
Ethic what?
Ethic cards.
Ethic cards
Yeah, it's through Sursa.
through Sursa. I like that idea.
Which is our insurance. Okay, anything else from the chief? Next, Mr. Hyatt has an enclosure. Mr. Hyatt, you have anything to add? I think you got him
No.
muted.
No, I do not have anything to add, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Any questions, Mr. Hyatt? Okay, we'll move on. Public Works does not have a report this meeting, sorry. Assistant Administrator John Galusha, you have anything to add?
I shared with you a draft of my thoughts on the conservation measures, how to change that. It's just a draft for you to use or a starting point. And then request for purchase for parts for the gas department, $29,566.83. It's not critical that you address this, but it would be nice if you did.
Can we budget for it?
Gas department.
That's the thing. Is it in the gas department budget?
Okay, any other questions of Mr. Galusha?
I had a question about something about the head gate and who came in and closed the head gate before it reached, and how does that affect the city?
Right now, it doesn't affect the city because there's no water at the head gate.
Okay,
That's what we were hoping for. Is we called the number one right, and we're hoping that we would get water. We called it last Tuesday, and as of Monday morning, there was no water at the head gate.
the water commissioners turned off all users above the head gate.
Correct.
Is that why there's no water there?
There's no water because there's no water.
Okay.
Or the head gates above us are taking it.
They were, Kuchar takes a little, and Levita had been taken, but Levita's turned off again. Now they turned on Monday morning for a little while, but now they're off again.
That's the driest year in my lifetime, from snowpack last winter all the way through spring and rain and everything else. So hopefully we never see another one like this.
And then just another note, I did include a draft capital improvement plan for you guys, so we can have discussion on that in the future after you get a chance to look at it.
Wanted to thank you. I can tell you've been working hard.
Okay, anything else from Mr. Galusha? Treasurer's report will be next meeting. Citizens' comments. I knew we're gonna have a full agenda tonight, so we're gonna limit citizens' comments to 1 hour total. So the first 1 hour's worth, to try to get out of here before midnight. What ordinance you referring to? Mr. Hyatt, you got an opinion?
I'm sorry, I don't know what the question is.
We're just gonna limit citizens' comments to 1 hour tonight.
Yes,
And I had
that's
a
fine.
question. I had a
Yes,
question, says we can't because of an ordinance.
No, the ordinance says that citizens are limited to 3 minutes each, but the mayor's allowed to impose additional restrictions if necessary. And this 1 hour is just for the comments at this point. Citizens are going to have a chance to comment also when that ordinance comes before the city council.
Right, and I can't curtail ordinance comments, so I think there's plenty of time for everybody.
And that's 20 people. 3 minutes.
So who's first?
First, we have Carmen Lara.
Good evening, Carmen J. Lara, Lara. And you just talked about citizens' comments, so I won't talk about that.
Yeah.
Regarding the water situation, Mr. Galusha said there was an increase of water usage around midnight. My question is, isn't that when the filters are cleaned through back flush or whatever, so it uses more water at that time? I know you may need to go to stage 3 water restrictions, but I believe from some of the lawns that I've been seeing that most citizens are following the rules because they're not watering their lawns. Regarding ordinance 1221, I hope that you all have thought long and hard about this. We did have a criminal detention center facility. It in essence failed primarily due to money. It did not bring in money the way the city thought it would. So I do not see how you believe that allowing ICE to use this facility would save the city. It might bring in some revenue, but better planning, use of funds, and accountability would probably work better. Bringing in a facility of this sort is not what I want Walsenburg to be known for. We're bringing in people who really aren't criminals. Most just came to the United States to better themselves and to have a chance at a good life. Well, isn't that what we all want? A good life. Most people that have come in lead good lives. They work, they earn money to support themselves. They send their children to school to get educated. And of course, there are those that do not follow the rules and should not be here. But those people are few and far between. So consider whether you would want a facility that would not necessarily bring in good revenue to the city over the lives of many good people, including children, being incarcerated in cages like animals, whose ancestors were probably here before most of your immigrant relatives came to this country. So I hope you make the right decision. Should you choose money over humanity or greed over lives of human beings? Please make the right decision. Many lives are at stake.
Jason Valdez.
Thank you.
Read you a quick definition. Commodification. The process of turning something that is not usually a product into a good or service that can be bought or sold. Are human beings commodities? Should people be hunted, harvested, caged, farmed, and transported for profit? If you were to listen in on an investors meeting for Core Civic or Geo Group, or pay close attention to conversations regarding why we should open a detainment center in our area, this is how human life is treated. All of the conversation revolves around profit margins, sustainability, jobs, and how much money can be made by private companies, local, state, and federal governments, and the community. Is this truly what Walsenburg and Huerfano County should be known for? The commodification of human suffering and human life. I didn't come here tonight to tell you how to vote on this measure. You are grown adults elected to represent this community, and I shouldn't need to force an understanding of empathy for people. I'm going to repeat that. People who are just trying to live and survive. I see Vazani looking away from me. I did come here to ask an important question. Is profit and money more important than morality, empathy, human rights, and human life? Our Constitution mandates due process for every person, not just every citizen within the borders of this country. It is explicitly clear on that. ICE, this administration, and the for-profit private prison industry has already proven time and again they're failing, utter failing in adhering to that mandate. We do not need to bring that criminality to our community. In light of these unconstitutional actions, the immorality of caging people, the horrific and well-documented record of abuses and human rights violations committed by Core Civic, who owns the prison over there that we are talking about, and the inhumanity of making money off of creating human suffering, I ask that our ballot initiative be adopted in the name of humanity.
Thank you.
Mary Hughes.
Hi, is there a timer? Do I just start?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank
We'd
you.
like you to spell your last name for the,
Hughes.
thank you.
In 1946, there were people in Germany and in Poland who said we didn't know. Today, no one can say they didn't know. You can only say you didn't care. These ribbons are for 500 children that have been put in concentration camps that you are proposing to let go ahead and pass the buck to someone else. 500 children under 3 years old, infants, babies, children. Terrible things are happening outside. At any time of night, poor helpless people are being dragged out of their homes. Families are torn apart. Men, women, and children are separated. Children come home from school to find out that their parents have disappeared. That's what you're proposing to be a part of, and let it slide. In Colorado, terrible things are happening outside. At any time of night and day, poor, helpless people are being dragged out of their homes. Families are torn apart. Men, women, and children are separated. Children come home from school to find that their parents have disappeared. This is happening now. This is what the concentration camp down the road is all about. This is in America. That was taken from Anne Frank's diary. In 2026, there were people all over America, and they can't say they didn't know. They can only say they didn't care. Representative, I'm asking you to care. I believe the rest of you are council members. Council Novak, I'm asking that you care. Council Breitweiser, I'm asking that you care. Councillor Ecker, thank you. I'm asking that you care. Councillor Stafford, I'm asking that you care. Councillor Martinez, I'm asking that you care. Councillor Mace, I'm asking that you care.
You got a time limit, so I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Honorina Vidovi Rinker.
Just state your name, last name and spell it, please.
Me?
State your last name and spell it, please.
My last name is Vedovi Rinker, VEDOVI -RINKER. I'm a longtime citizen of Colorado. I live in Colorado Springs, and we came tonight to talk to you because our hearts are really with the people that are being hurt by ICE. Have deep abiding concerns about the proposal to have another detention center, also known as a concentration camp in Colorado. For most of the people who are being put into these places are hardworking, tax-paying, family-oriented, and many of them lawfully seeking a better life in the U.S. What about Lady Liberty? What about what's written below Lady Liberty? What about that? Welcome to immigrants. Welcome. You're welcome. We want you here. ICE is out of control. ICE is doing unlawful arrests and keeping people in brutal conditions without due process. Without due process. That's our country. That's what it's based on. Does Walsenburg really want to be known as a town that supports this kind of regime and permits concentration camp-like practices? How can this be sustainable? How can this be sustainable, a path for Walsenburg? Is this, in fact, or in reality, a long-term solution for Walsenburg economically? I say this with all due respect for you as city council members. I'm sure you work very hard for your city.
I'm just asking you to hear our hearts tonight. We represent lots of people who feel just the same as we do. So please consider what we're saying. Vote for this ordinance, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Cynthia Cresswell? I'll pass until the ordinance actually comes up. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Davis. Oh, Dave Rush?
Yes.
We know you, but go ahead and say your name anyway.
There you go.
Good morning. Thank you for your response in a quick time. Larry, who's across the street from me, had a water leak develop rather suddenly. When he moved his truck, it almost fell in. The response time is awesome. I know it's ongoing, but thanks ever so much. Pass it on to them. They do a really fabulous job, and nobody else did, so thank you.
Our help will be glad to hear that. Thank you.
Ryan Lalander?
Some science. Walsenburg is a system. If we start looking at it as a system and as its component parts, we're going to gain insights. It's also a system with human beings who make these decisions. And there's just some science about how decisions are made. That's for you wrapped up into a term they call bounded rationality. And basically what that means is when these guys have to make their decisions, they only have a limited amount of information. They don't have all the answers. They only have a limited amount of time, and they only have a limited amount of understanding of the topics. So as a result, what we do, and this is every government, and you've got to pay attention to it, is we look for the first option that meets the minimum threshold. Not the best option, not the sustainable option, but the long-term option. Now, the way we get beyond that is when we make these decisions to make a conscious effort that we have the proper standard operating procedures in place. Make sure that we are following the proper workflows. Make sure that we have the consistent application of those. Make sure that you understand how the different departments work. I had the opportunity to talk to Bill Vanelli today about his department and his budget, and it was very enlightening. I encourage you to call him in to talk to him at the next financial meeting. But if we do these things, then we can move forward and implement these internal controls that the CBI investigation talked about, that every audit talks about, the lack of internal controls. But ultimately, internal controls begin with you. There's a lot of people out there who believe really strongly and believe that by showing up here, that they're going to have a huge impact. I believe in you guys doing that. But honestly, a lot of what I do in my reports and talking here is unfair to these guys. They gave you what you asked, and now you're placing an unrealistic demand upon them.
Stacy Decker?
Thank you.
Okay, how do I follow that? Stacy Decker, the ECQER. Real quick, water restrictions. I do believe we need to go to stage 3. That's my personal thoughts, opinions, and has been since about April. Is empty. We know that. We go up there. Storage levels across all of our stuff is low or lower than it should have been this time of year. So yeah, I'd like to see us go to stage 3. One thing though, and it's been expressed to me, that there are people who are saying it's like they didn't even know, even though we posted on the website, we put it on the paper, we put it on Facebook, we put it on Instagram, whatever. So I'm going to recommend that as far as notifications go, we also include something at each of the primary routes into town, saying that we're at what stage we're at with, more information at the website kind of a thing. That way, not only travelers, but some folks that may not have the great internet access or doesn't get the paper, et cetera, maybe at least the little placards or something like that on the sidewalk that says Walsenburg Stage 3 water restrictions on it for that information. And then for the folks here on the ordinance, I encourage every one of you to stay the whole time and actually talk during the ordinance because you won't. So I do encourage you to be here and talk about them. Right now, citizens' comments, it's great you're getting it out there. However, the ordinance, you don't have your time limits and it actually addresses the problem directly. So I recommend sticking around to actually talk during the ordinance period because the second reading is where citizens are allowed to comment on the ordinance itself. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Molly Hale.
You spell your last name, please.
Hail. My grandfather fought in World War II as a fighter pilot, or what they had at the time. And he fought fascism overseas in Europe. And I joined the United States Navy because he was in it. And I believed in what he fought for against fascism and against scapegoating certain groups of people in order to fulfill some sort of political gain. And I would just have to say that seeing the dark tentacles of fascism creeping across the country and land here in my backyard is very frightening. Because what starts out as an immigration detention center, like what does that say about us? What we allow here? And it's a very emotionally charged issue that I think you should pass this ordinance to not allow that here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Matthew Reese. Sorry, Matthew.
You spell your last name, please.
Reese. Good evening. Thank you for. I'm a history teacher for middle school. I teach 6th grade. I've taught many grades though, and I've taught a lot U.S. history, specifically about World War II in 11th grade. That's the state curriculum. And every year, I would always get to Japanese internment, and that was a very difficult topic to teach. But I would always say to my students, if you've never got the chance to go to either Heart Mountain in Wyoming or Meche out in East Colorado, I would highly recommend it. And I never thought that I would have to stand at a city council meeting and talk about how Colorado has already done this before, how we have, as a community, said, okay, we're going to put people in camps. And whether it's for our own safety or national security purposes, this is the way we determine that we want to do this. And if anybody in this room has never been, I recommend going because it is astonishing where these people who were not worked to death, they were not shot and put in mass graves, they were just kept there, how their lives were completely ruined just by the fact that they did not have the liberty of pursuing the American dream of working hard and paying your taxes and having a better life than your parents did. And, as that gentleman I kept driving in the camo hat said, you guys have a lot of choices to make. This city's a system. I understand that you folks have a hard job. I would just hope that, seeing everyone talk here, that you remember that there's a human element to this as well, and that you guys have power to make change in your community.
Thank you.
Daniel Connell.
Connell. Well, here we are again pleading with the city council to pass our ordinance change to prohibit the former prison from being utilized as a concentration camp. We are imploring that you use your elected power to protect our community from the social consequences of the violent presence of ICE When this prison was opened before, it was notorious for poor conditions and human rights abuses. Poor Civic is widely known for such abuses. They recently failed every standard in their first public inspection. There have been 2 more deaths of detainees in ICE custody since we were here last. Every negative consequence with unlawful immigrant detention still exists. You can stop this from coming home to our community with a vote to adopt. You can disallow this evil. Hudson, Colorado will be saddled with all the negative effects of a concentration camp. The division, the constant protests, the civil unrest, the violence, and the negative media coverage. This will happen because their elected community leaders failed to protect the citizens they were elected to serve when they had a chance. If you choose the path of a coward and vote not to adopt this ordinance changes, you will have the blood of everyone harmed by the evil U.S. for-profit human trafficking industrial complex on your hands. The children who will be in cages will be there with your tacit participation. If you fail us, it will go on the ballot. You will leave the fate, the right thing you could have done. Core Civic will do everything it can to undermine the citizens. Hudson, Colorado proved that. Anyone who fails to stop evil is complicit in that evil. If you fail, your descendants will know how you chose because we will tell them. Vote to adopt. Chinga la migra.
Lakota Connell? Connell, Connell. Thank you for hearing this ordinance again. It's absolutely reasonable to ask this of them right now because you have a choice. It's not unreasonable to act now. Tonight's vote will follow each of your names for the rest of your lives and for the rest of Walsenburg's history. Our own jail has been closed for months because a veteran in a mental health crisis died in that facility. That tragedy is a reminder of what happens when oversight breaks down and responsibility gets blurred. We cannot afford to repeat that story on a larger scale. If ICE detention comes here, it won't just be a moral burden, it will be an impractical across the board. Water usage will spike during our drought and our restrictions. Utilities will rise, tourism will fall. Families don't vacation or move to towns known for detention center concentration camps. This decision will reshape how people see Walsenburg for decades. We've already seen how Port Civic operates. Hudson, Colorado could not protect its authority. Hudson's local control was undermined by a corporation with far more resources than any small town can match. Do we really want to leave ourselves open to the same treatment? We've seen what happens inside facilities when oversight slips away. In California, Core Civic failed 13 categories in a first of its kind health inspection. And here in Colorado, the tuberculosis outbreak at the Aurora ICE facility showed how quickly public health risks can spread when conditions break down. More people have been killed since by ICE since the last vote, and these are warnings, not hypotheticals. Federal government will ultimately do what it wants to do, but this ordinance is your guardrail, the only tool you have to keep Walsenburg's future in Walsenburg's hands. Delaying until November gives Core Civic months to reshape the narrative and undermine the options this community is trying to preserve. Adopting this ordinance now is the only way to protect our dignity, our authority, our economy, our future, and our names will be remembered for how you choose in this moment. You have the power to do the right thing and to stop this before it becomes something Walsenburg can never take back. Please be compassionate, have courage, and do the right thing because it matters, and we are asking for your help. Please.
Annette Leva.
Thank you.
I'll wait until the citizens ordinance. Thank you, ma'am. Jennifer Falbo.
I'll also wait until the ordinance comes up.
Janine Tenbrook. I'll wait as well. John DiNicola. Let's take the person in the room first. Geneseo Montoya.
Hi, sorry I'm late. I came off. Remember, traffic was bad.
Spell your last name, please.
Montoya. I'm glad you asked that. Because, like I said, my name is Janice Montoya. I know you've heard of the Montoya Ranch. I am a descendant of the initial settlers of this land. So I'm here not only for myself, but also for my ancestors to speak on their behalf. My aunt, who's 92 right now, will be next week, maybe zoomed in right now. She's very tech savvy for her age, so she may be zoomed in. I don't know if they're going to allow comments from Zoom or not. You are? Yes. Okay, perfect. So hopefully she's on there. These are my ancestors. My great-great-grandpa, he's a sheep herder. Here, they settled Gardner, Warden, that whole area, Barista. I can guarantee you, when they set out to settle this land, they did not intend or ever could imagine that what is being proposed would happen. They were not those type of people. I know there's a few people who are really paying attention. They're looking at me when I'm speaking, and there's some others who are typing away. So what I usually have to tell my middle school students every single day is eyes on me, please. I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to make you feel bad or guilty or anything like that. But your decisions are going to affect millions of lives. Millions. I've heard the arguments about growth and economy, but come on, we can do better. I know if we put our minds to it, there's a better way where we will do not have to have for-profit suffering. Have you guys reached out to Amazon, all those big places that can build factories here? Have you tried anything like that at all? I guarantee you, nothing good will come of this. I know people have already talked and spoke. I've heard a couple people talk. I know you read the news. What happens in those places?
Thank you.
Sally Sharp. Oh, wait. John DiNicola, we're going online now. Go ahead and unmute Mr. DiNicola. There you go.
Evening. I want to point out that I placed a request verbally in the last meeting. As of yet, I have gotten zero response, which means that the city is also in violation of Cora yet again. Also, I placed another request this week with Miss Nigro about a camera outside the police station, and I was sent an email telling me that a private citizen was captured on the camera. No offense, Miss Nigro, you're not an attorney, but Mr. Hyatt can explain CAS v. US to you. There is no expectation of privacy in a public place. There is no redaction needed on that video. So don't redact it. Send me the video. Also, you folks have a couple of officers. One officer, while off duty, decided to make a traffic stop on an interstate. Luckily, the gentleman that he stopped had enough forethought to call the state police. And for some odd reason, that officer decided that he wasn't going to wait for the state police. He left the scene. We're not stopping people off duty now, are we, Chief? Because that would be a violation of policy 343.2. Then we have another officer who seems to think that her crap don't stink, and she's parking in front of a handicap ramp. Well, 703.3.10. Coming from now, the gentleman over in the district court, me and him are getting to really well known. We're getting along swimmingly, and he's accepting my paperwork. So if this is the route that we're going to go, then that's, I guess, the route we're going to go. You're in violation of the letter of intent from last November. Fix the problem. Get me my stuff. Stop playing games. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeff Ackerman. Hang on, Jeff, sorry. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Jeff Ackerman. I'm from Fort Collins, and I want to talk about dreams. When I was a child, I had nightmares about monsters. In middle school, I dreamt I was naked in class and called to the board. When I became a teacher, I dreamt my class was completely out of control. And when I became a father, it fundamentally changed me. Many of you are parents and can relate. Because before I was a parent, my biggest fear was always me, and that reflected in my nightmares. But after becoming a father, my biggest instinct is to protect my children. It exceeds my own self-preservation. After becoming a father, all of my nightmares are about harm coming to my children until last week. Last week, I had a different nightmare. I dreamt I lived in a dark, dreary, dystopian world of meager means, where thugs working for an endlessly greedy authoritarian government would come into your home at any time they wanted, and if they found too much food or any other possession deemed excessive, they would take it. In my nightmare, people tried their best to hide their scant food and resources. And then they needed to hide people because anyone whose actions the government disliked, regardless if there was a law broken or not, they would be taken without due process. There was a pervasive fear in the very fabric of every crumbling brick building and in the hearts of everyone in this nightmare world. When I had the naked in class dream, I would wake up in bed and be reassured it was only a dream. When I awake from a nightmare about my children, I thank God my children are safe. And sometimes I need a reassuring hug from them to feel that safety. But when I awoke from this nightmare last week, I had no reassurance. We aren't currently living in a 1984 dystopian world, but we are heading towards it at an alarming rate. We have people being attacked by masked government thugs in the street for being a person of color or for legally recording them. People are being held indefinitely with no charges brought and not even a criminal record. We have AI cameras popping up everywhere to document our every move in public. OpenAI, ChatGPT, CEO Sam Altman openly stating his vision of the future is for us to have no freedom. We have devices with cameras and microphones which are supposed to be private, but the government can access our communications, documents, and photos. Will you be part of the dystopian Orwellian nightmare or need?
Eliza Blaney.
Hello, council members. Thank you so much for your time. I'll be blunt. You're being conned. ICE is taking advantage of you and your community. They've seen your history, your hardships, your debt, the protectiveness you have over your community, your families, and each other, and decided to take advantage of those things. A detention center will not bring jobs to the community. It will not be some sort of economic miracle. Instead, it will bring countless strangers into your community. Strangers who will stay for a few months at most and then transfer to another facility. These strangers will be the guards. Guards who do not care enough to try to integrate themselves into a community that has existed in Walsenburg for generations, a community that you, council members, have worked so hard to help create. A detention center will not be the economic relief this community needs. Instead, it will monopolize the local economy and uproot your community. And it will send one message in particular, loud and clear. Walsenburg City Council members knew that they and their communities were being taken advantage of, and they did nothing. Thank you for your time. Please vote to adopt this ordinance now.
Thank you.
Laura Gonzalez.
Hi, it's Laura Gonzalez, by the way, and I would like to cede my time to Janet Vizquerra. I think it's important that you guys listen to people who actually have been abused by ICE. So I'm giving my time to Janet Vizquerra.
Can I do that?
We allow 3 minutes per person. That's not fair to the rest of the people.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Vizquerra. I'm activist for immigrant rights at the same time as an impact person. I'm 4 times in detention centers for what is very important, not continue open concentration camps. This create destruction in the communities, not have troops in the police departments or the cities. And finally, this is big business. Only for this corporation, not put nothing the money for your community, not put inversion in your community. For this is very important, take care that your decision. Not only coming here people that this place, coming people that around the states. Not like more concentration camps in Colorado. This is only create destruction in the community, separation, the families, kids, lose your family, lose your mother, lose your father. It is important as the human rights, civil rights of people, not these corporations. Only put money for the more rich people. Please, I need you take care in your decision and suffer very much. My last time in detention for use my first speech is in the last year, 9 months, 7 days only for defend my community. It's very important. No open more spaces for these corporations. This corporation not put money in your pocket, in your community, and more better education or solution in your community. It's only for your person, for the other people, put your inversions. Take care of your community in this place. You don't need nothing negative here. In case you put one detention center here, everything is negative. Nothing is more better for this community. Please, take good decision. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dime Sandoval.
Dime Sandoval, Sandoval. Good evening, Mayor, Council, and Interim Administrator Galusha. The latest news going on in Hudson, Colorado brings with it concern and more so attention to the ballot initiative that is to be voted on this evening. The first reading was approved with a 6-1 vote, Councilwoman Breitweiser casting the lone no vote. Much has happened in the passing 6 weeks or so involving ICE. Many have died at the hands of ICE, or should I say been murdered. A woman was shot at a protest at the Aurora, Colorado concentration camp. She was shot for protesting. Freedom of speech, she was shot. She had to call 911 herself as the shooter, Brandon Booth, the coward, left the scene of the crime. He was off duty when this happened. His bond was set at $500,000. He was placed on unpaid administrative leave. These are the stories we hear nationwide, the cowardly acts of masked ICE employees who receive minimal training, walking around with guns, tasers, devices, pepper spray, and chemical irritants. High-risk operations include launchers that fire pepper balls or chemical agents. Can you envision this type of Gestapo in our hometown of Walsenburg? Can you envision your neighbors of Hispanic descent, Mexican descent, brown and or black skin color being assaulted or murdered in broad daylight in our hometown of Walsenburg? Keep in mind, ICE has not only murdered people of color, no one is safe. Can you imagine the children of color in our hometown of Walsenburg being rounded up at the bus stop or going home to an empty house because someone in the community reported their parents? Believe me, Walsenburg has racists. People with privilege state their feelings on Facebook about their fellow community members in our hometown of Walsenburg. Round them up, they say. Is this what you as the leaders of this community want to see? The community you claim to want to grow and prosper? The community you talk about making a good place to live in our hometown of Walsenburg? The second reading of the ordinance change will happen tonight. I implore you to lead with common sense and do what is best for our hometown of Walsenburg. Vote to adopt the ordinance tonight and put to bed any opportunity Core Civic has from now until November to infiltrate our hometown of Walsenburg with the likes of ICE. It takes a village. Be the leaders of the village and do what is best for the people in our hometown of Walsenburg. Thank you.
Victor?
Thank you.
Hi, good evening, Town Council. My name is Victor Meraz. I'm actually in Hudson currently talking with community members regarding the detention facility that they're trying to open up here as well. I'm along the side of everybody else here voting in this ordinance in Walsenburg. It's really imperative that I think just let's listen to the immigration history in the United States. So the Immigration Act of 1924 brought with it various problematic recording and anomalies and arbitrary immigration quotas. The original census up until 1850 did not include information about national origin or ancestry. Immigration before 1820 was not tracked, and after immigration begun to be tracked, the country of origin was excluded until about 1899. And somehow, quotas based on historical census data were established during the Immigration Act of 1924. These quotas were specifically tailored to predominantly benefit immigrants of European origin. The quota board, I quote, subtracted all blacks, mulattoes, Chinese, Japanese, South Asians, Hawaiians, Puerto Ricans, and Alaskans, end quote, from consideration or input to their quotas. They were citing things, and I quote again, such as descendants of slave immigrants, ineligible to citizenship, and native-born inhabitants. Prior to this Immigration Act, the Nationality Act of 1870 included racial prerequisites to citizenship and defined white persons as European immigrants. These black and white racial prerequisites resulted in the U.S. granting citizenship to 1.5 million European immigrants. Once the U.S. completed the Transcontinental Railroad, the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 was established. We can go on and on about all of the policies that have affected community. I think it's time to implement policies that impact underrepresented communities in a positive way. This is your time to do so. This is your time to change the course of the history that this country has seen. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have Mark Craddock.
Hey, Mark Craddock, Craddock. I just want to clarify exactly what it is you're voting on tonight. It's whether or not to put on the ballot this ballot initiative whose underlying ordinance would define what is a penal camp in our zoning law. It seems an absolutely reasonable move for the city council to pass this ordinance and put it on the ballot and let the voters decide, let the voters tell you what they want. And I think that was an absolutely appropriate move when you first passed this. However, as Dee said, things have changed. And what has markedly changed is the amount of money that Homeland Security and ICE have started spending in just the last 6 weeks or so for acquisition of facilities and contracts with private prisons. It has gone up exponentially since January, and it would hint that something could happen very quickly with our prison before November 3rd, before Election Day, before people have a right to tell you what they want. So I believe what you need to do is vote down the ordinance before you 1221, and then adopt the ballot initiative's proposed ordinance outright. This will ensure that a contract doesn't happen between now and Election Day. And frankly, if you're worried that a majority of citizens do not like this ordinance and want CoreCivic to open on a contract with ICE, there are numerous means for petitions just like the one before you to be expedited to rescind the ordinance that you would pass. So these citizens are not totally cut out of the decision-making process here, but simply because the clock is ticking and something very, very bad could happen before the citizens here get a right to vote on it, you may need to just outright pass this ordinance and protect the city. And then if there is opposition to that, they can petition to rescind what you've just passed. So you haven't cut these citizens out of it. So I just want to clarify that a bit because I want to make sure everyone knows what they're voting on and what procedures might be available to still ensure what you want, which is to reflect the will.
Thank you.
And that's everyone online there. May I say something?
Sure. Just spell your last name, please.
It's Ullum, Ullom. My first name is Rosella, Rosella. I'm 23 years old. My grandfather moved here in 1979. He has been a wonderful addition to this community. His name is Rob St. Peter. He has done a lot of work primarily in Levita, and I love my grandfather dearly. My mother is obviously his daughter, and she has become a light for this community. She's an EMT, she's a CNA, she's an MA, and she's currently going to nursing school. I please encourage you to not open this ICE facility. My mom has emphysema and multiple autoimmune conditions. If these conditions, all of these diseases that are in ICE detention centers get to my mom, it will kill my mother. You will have the blood of my mother on your hands. She does not deserve to die or be overworked because of a decision that you think is profitable. My mother deserves to live. She deserves to live. And EMTs do not deserve to be overworked and exposed to dangerous diseases for no reason. These are concentration camps. I do not support these. And I've been in this community my entire life. I've never seen a group of people be so pro demolishing the foundations that we have built in this community. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you.
And we do have one more person online, Mayor, if you'd like to.
We got 10 more minutes.
Okay. Stephanie Tucker.
I'm assuming you have their last names being they're online, right? Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to take a moment to invite everyone, literally, take a deep breath and smile. Smile for just a second. We're actually relaxing more muscles in our face. But as we explore the changes in our community and the changes in our country, I think the humanity is what we need to all be brought to make sure stays in the forefront of any decisions. That is what our country was based on and has always made us unique, is the acceptance of everybody within the soil to give them equal opportunity for every man. That includes men, women, and children. The horrific treatment we are hearing about, the killing of the ICE, the people that are not even supposed to be the targets. This is inhumane. Money will not be worth it to have blood money on your hands. Please, I really appreciate the fact that you're considering that the citizens need to be heard, but I think there is a very reasonable explanation that was just reviewed. Adopt the the ballot measure, put it on the books tonight, and if there is enough people to go against it, they can go about getting a measure on the in front of the council as well. So thank you for your time this evening, but please do remember, at the end of the day, we are all part of humanity. We're humans.
Thank you.
Can I speak?
Trip.
Yes, step up, say your last name and spell it, please.
My name is Arnie Carter, Carter. And I've spent all of my 69 years in Colorado, in Denver mostly. I live close to the Geo Detention Center, and I visit people there often. I go and visit community members that I know that are in that detention center, and it is a concentration camp. Conditions there are terrible. There's disease all throughout the thing, tuberculosis, foot disease, viral infections. Air conditioning is broke all the time, and it's terrible heat. Food is terrible. I mean, not just bad, it's unhealthy. There's no medical care. Somebody was just shot by a GO car right outside. What I'm trying to say is that detention center has brought nothing but violence to my community. Nothing but violence. I go in and the guards are absolutely miserable. These people that you think you're going to get jobs, they are absolutely miserable. They hate each other. They hate what they're doing. They're not trained. They're trying to run a place that is unrunnable. They're miserable. GO doesn't give a dang about the people in there, the community around them, or their employees. Need to please stop this. Pass this ordinance, please.
Thank you.
Trevor, you thought?
Yes, hi. Trevor, Trevor, last YCAS. I'll be brief. Many here who oppose the opening of a concentration camp in your community. I'm from farther north along the Front Range, but have lived in Colorado my whole life. I will say that many here might recognize the names Auschwitz, Birkenau, Dachau, Buchenwald. These are the names not actually of Nazi concentration camps from the Second World War, but of the nearest town. Those towns have been stained with the history and memory of what happened in those awful camps located near them. I hope for many people's sake, for as some said, all humanity's sake, but for the sake of you as individual people who will have to live with this decision, and for the sake of your whole community, and for the sake of our state, that you take whatever options are available to you to stop or at very least stall the opening of any type of concentration camp, community, or center in your community. Thank you.
Thank you.
And it looks like that's it, Mayor.
That's everybody?
Yes.
That hand is the guy that just finished.
Yes. That's those both Laura Gonzalez and Trevor lowered his hand. Laura Gonzalez.
Got it.
Okay. Unfinished business discussion. Water conservation, somebody wanna? John, you wanna speak on this, or you know more about where we're at?
I have to recommend we go to stage 3. We're not getting any water in. We have. We're taking Dager down. It was at 57 acre feet. We're down to 30 acre feet in Dager. It's time. Really don't have, I can't recommend anything else.
Yeah, I think I agree we need to conserve, but I wanna kind of rest assured to everybody that we still probably have 200 acre feet in City Lake, which would get us to November probably. Plus we can pump from Horseshoe and Dagger, Horseshoe and Martin. So we're not gonna run out of water because that rumor's going down. Let's let everybody know we're not gonna run out of water.
Not gonna run out of water, but the more
No, we need to conserve.
down we get, the harder it is to treat
Yeah. No, it gets more expensive too.
and more expensive.
Okay, any other comments? Veronica?
I mean, I still see water haul being done on the weekends. I still see people watering. Like, there was a new one on the dice here that has a lot of things stricken. I think this needs to be addressed. Because I think as the restrictions are written, it's not really helping us either. I mean, you know, yeah. I know that takes a while.
I would ask you to consider adopting stage 3 as it is in the ordinance, and then making changes as soon as possible to the ordinance.
That's like 2 months to change an ordinance by the time you do the advertisement in the paper and have 2 readings and.
But if we don't start, I mean.
No, we can start it, but it's gonna be too late for right now. We can adopt the stage 3 and we have to follow it the way it is.
Right.
I mean, cause I agree with like, when this is written, like, to just stop water haul and not reduce water haul, like, you didn't do anything. Where citizens who live in the city of Walsenburg and are paying the fees and doing all this other stuff, like, they're under restriction. Like, they can't have the water, but yet water haul people that don't even live within the city limits can take the water. And they get to, I mean, as a citizen, I don't feel that's fair that we're gonna keep selling water, even though we're saying you can only do it 8 to 4:30. But yet citizens who pay those fees, you're paying $100 before you've even paid for a drop of water, for water sewer. Like, I mean, it's not fair. It's not fair to citizens of the city of Walsenburg, which is who we represent.
Well, same token, there's some people that haul to a cistern for in-home use. I hate to cut that off too. If we can possibly, I hate to see somebody go without water.
I do too, but I mean, I feel we have to address this sooner than later, because what's gonna happen is we're gonna get past it, winter's gonna come, we're gonna forget about this, and then next year we're gonna be right back here like, oh, we should have changed that. So I don't think we kick this aside. I think we start addressing it.
Right. Yes.
Even if it takes 2 months.
We can start right away. But I think initially we entertain a motion to adopt it as it is, and that's what we follow.
How are self-preservation? Are we doing good? Are we trying? Can you tell that we're trying?
Consumption's down. I mean, we had a few days where it was down around 200 gallons per minute at night. It's up a little bit again. It's still below 300, but we're still.
We haven't went to stage 3 yet either.
No.
And I don't think it's gonna change it though. If people are watering in the middle of the night, they're gonna continue to water in the middle of the night. I mean, if current restrictions 2, you can water 1 day a week and you're seeing this spike every night. I don't think going to 3 is gonna change that. I really don't. Unless we monitor the usage, it's not gonna change.
It's the only tool we have, and we have some staff to monitor, and impossible to watch every yard.
That was the whole point of buying these meters, that they were so.
Oh, they could tell that way. That should be a benefit.
I was just gonna say, can we not set something in place that like has who those high utilizers are that shouldn't be.
Go look around and find the green grass.
My grass is green, but I'm following.
We have Metron meters. I think the meter way is the best way. We can do that here in the computer.
My grass is clover. It's
So
still
I
green.
would instruct utility department to keep an eye on the usage. It's easier than it used to be. It's,
I mean, my other concern is revenue. I mean,
yeah.
we stop selling water even to people in town. Like, where do you draw the line?
I would like us to see us delay stage 3 for 2 more weeks and do a little public information about water reduction. I've mentioned it before. Denver schools provide boxes to students as they come in. It's got water restriction shower heads, which I brought down from Denver and have in mine. It has a bag that you can fill up with water to put into your toilet tank, so each flush uses less water. Sometimes having the children involved in policing their own households might have better results. I know it costs money to provide those kits, but I know it's possible. I'm worried about our parks. I'm worried about the golf course. Sorry. I'm worried about, I don't want us to look like a dust bowl. And how long and how expensive is that going to be to reverse? I also would like the city sprinklers aimed more towards the grass. They're hitting the sidewalk quite a bit. I'd like 2 more weeks to try to educate and look at options. Make sure everybody, some people are just finding out that there are water restrictions. I don't know.
Admittedly, I didn't know there was a water restriction until today.
Mhm.
My grandfather works in the water business himself, so that information is very much not open to the public. If I didn't know my grandfather who works in water treatment, I wouldn't know how dangerous the situation actually was. It's to put it into my perspective.
It's on our website and on the door, and we send it out on our bills when the bills go out, but that'll be
Some of us don't get bills. I live
Few
in a
weeks.
building. I don't get a bill, so I don't get that information. My property owner does, but I don't talk to her every day. So how else am I
So
supposed to?
doesn't your property owner do the watering outside?
We don't have any water. We don't have any
Outside?
inside.
Well, then you're not subject to any.
But some of those people would also restrict usage too.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm more than happy to restrict my water usage if I knew how to if I knew helpful tips of how to do that. I would be more than happy to restrict my water usage.
I just remembered last week I should turn off the water while I'm brushing my teeth.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, get into it.
You have a lot of people running swamp coolers that is eating up water.
Yeah.
I have one comment. We already do a winter average, don't we?
Yes.
Why can't we sort of implement that now? If they go over their winter average, some kind of a fine attached to it.
That's not in an ordinance or resolution.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying that can
We
be
could-
something that we.
It could be part of.
When we redo it, they could. be
Yeah,
part of it.
yeah, but that's a way of handling extra usage or people.
But we have a decision ahead of us. Do we go on
We have some
stage
hands.
3 or not? I want to kind of get council's feelings first.
And I'm with Pam. I'd like to go another 2 weeks. I said, I'm with Pam. I'd like to go another 2 weeks. I mean, City Lake only dropped, well, I'm gonna say only, it dropped 11%, from July 21st, which is the last time it was reported. You know, but it's been super hot. I mean, so I don't think that's that bad. Now Dagger dropped 55%. That's a different ballgame.
Well, I think there's probably enough water. It gets expensive to treat, the lower the lake gets and the more we pump, it gets more expensive, but you do have the water to do it if you'd like. That's up to council. Whether you want to conserve some more, you want to go another 2 weeks. Now I'll take questions. I got Brian in the back first.
Just don't.
Ron, did you want to say something first?
Well, has anybody put it on Facebook? That's probably our best means of
getting it out there.
So I was actually,
Like people identify who take decisions or what?
I actually made a note from Mr. Decker's comment. I think I'm gonna try to find a variable message board, put that on Main Street, restriction stage 2 for City of Walsenburg, and see if I can get CDOT to put that on the message board on the interstate.
Is there also a fire restriction, like fire restriction this? Because that's also in place, isn't it?
The county does. I don't
County,
think we did one.
county doesn't.
And I think education is I'm with Pam. Education's the biggest thing. You know, a lot of people don't know about it, and I'm sure everybody would like to help out.
Okay, Brian.
I'm going to support his decision, and I say you need to go into level 3 water restriction. Go ahead and do that. We talked about ratcheting up and ratcheting down. When you get to a certain level, the quality of water is going to be a problem. I've drank the water here for the last 10 years. Within the last few weeks is the worst that the water has ever been. Part of that's the algae situation. Part of that's how much extra are we going to pay at a pretty high rate for stern packs to treat that water. Then if we ever get to the situation where we have to pump, that creates a whole new nightmare. Now, I agree that you need to redo your ordinance, but the process is the process, and I think you should not avoid that process unless there's a justifiable reason to say that John's basing this on the numbers and on the levels and on consumption. Is there a justifiable reason for people to be educated? Well, let's face the facts. Water restrictions have never really worked. There's years that you put on water restrictions and the consumption went up. Education is important. Make that part of the plan. Make your triggers and consider what is the only way that's worked for an enforcement, which I don't like, but set the limits to a gallon amount in your next thing, and then put extra fees above those limits. You're never going to have enough staff to go and check and say, this guy might be watering, this guy might not be. You're never going to be able to do that. The chief can't run around and be on sprinkler patrol.
Citizens can call in, but that we don't have those teeth in the ordinance right now. We couldn't use that if we wanted to.
And that's what I'm saying. Put those triggers and those teeth in your ordinance. Adopt this now. Get a workshop. Take a couple of months. Get something right, because this isn't going to fix this crisis, but you can get it in place for next year. That's fine.
Thank you. Stacy.
So to give you an example, we're gonna have to pay an extra $1,000 for the sternback for the energy surcharge. So if we have to spend a lot of extra money just to clean up the water, it's gonna cause us more problems financially as well. And while we may not be making a lot of money on water, it's gonna cost us more if we have to process more. So stage 3 is an education, agreed. However, I think Colorado's been in a drought for well over 20 years, and we should have been practicing turning off the water when you're brushing your teeth 20 years ago. Stage 3, yes, it's education. And I think education is something that's important, and we'll share the word. We'll talk to everybody. We'll tell your friends, tell your neighbors, get on Facebook, put up placards on the corners, put up a note at each way we're coming into town.
I'm sure it'll be in the paper Thursday if we pass it.
Yes, exactly. So ignorance of what's going on means you haven't been paying attention for more than 20 years. So.
Thank you. Cynthia.
Cynthia Cresswell, CRESSWELL. If we go into stage 3, you say then you guys can start working on amending the current ordinances. One of the things that you need to address in the current ordinances is the amount of gallons that you allow to grows. Because if we go into a level 3, rows that are allowed 50,000 gallons a month should not take precedence over the citizens that are paying the bills. And we won't have water and the grows do. And I'm sorry to all the people in the room and on Zoom that smoke marijuana. Our sustenance is more important than you getting high. So you need to think about that when you start amending.
And I think the public will be involved when we get to that stage, and there's more than that one issue. There's many issues in that ordinance, so. Carmen,
Carmen, Laura. So yeah, the lakes are going down, down, down. I thought you were pumping already. Are you pumping, Horseshoe?
We started again today.
Thanks. So they're pumping. Everything's going down. We're not going to have any water. Here's part of my problem. Things always get mentioned, suggested, but they never get followed through with. If you would have started this process when you first thought of water restrictions and everything, you would be halfway to having the process already through, changing your ordinance and everything. But that's the same thing that happens at council time and time again. Like with the lake, redoing the lake. But that took 20, 25 years or more before we finally got it done because of procrastination. You need to start planning. You need to start making changes now. You can't keep putting it off and putting it off and then change never happens. So with I thought that grows were not going to be allowed water at a certain point. But I don't remember because I didn't look it up. I'm a very busy person. Check all this stuff out. But I thought that there were different, besides the 55,000, you don't want a person to lose their whole livelihood, but.
stage 3 is 50,000 for gross.
Well, but I thought there was an ordinance that said something about there's an order of things that were going to get turned off and they weren't going to be allowed, including water haul. Because how do you monitor who's taking what water? I mean, is it for the household? Is it for plants? You can't control that. People can come and get water. Maybe you need to reduce the amount that they can take up to a certain point, and you can kind of estimate how much people use at their home without, all the other stuff. So you have to get focused on working on the process. And you need to let people know what's going on because people don't know. Somebody said that it was put in the bills. I don't think so because you've changed it how many times already? So you got stage 1, stage 2. So the bills only go out once a month and you've changed it more than once. So I know it hasn't gone because I haven't got one in my bill that told me anything. And I know there's, like they were saying, there are many people that don't know we're under water restrictions. So you need to find a way to let people know because people don't know. You close the Walsenburg website, maybe you could put it on the police website. They got a website, put it on there, put the fire restrictions, put everything. But without communication, it does no good because people don't know and they care. They care. We care.
I want to make a comment about grows being for people getting high. I want to remind people that it's also families with jobs, paying mortgages, buying back to school clothes for their kids, that a lot of people here work in the cannabis industry. And that is also part of our tax base. Bankrupt businesses aren't good for the city either.
Unpaid revenues aren't either.
Let's try to stick to the topic of whether we're going to go to stage 3 or not. Daniel?
I just want to point something out about talking about water use. That's just something that sticks in my craw, kind of piggybacking on what Cynthia said. The city is going to be cutting people off on their water, lowering their property values, eliminating their green space for fire mitigation, and just generally hurting their quality of life while we're still watering a golf course. So we're gonna diminish the lives of everyone else. That golf course, it can keep doing what it's doing. I have a problem with that.
I can give you an explanation if it'll help you. The golf course waters out of Martin Lake, which is our last source of pumping and has never been used in the history of my life. So we are conserving there too, but it is raw water and the lowest lake we have to pump out of.
And why was it included?
Well, we cut down on it because in case we have to pump out of there. Let's stick to whether we're going to adopt this ordinance or not. I'm not going to talk about the golf course or the grows or anything else. We're stuck with the ordinance we have. And what are we going to do? I'll take 2 more comments.
Just a quick thing, whether to adopt the ordinance or not, I mean, we're all in this together. I mean, I'm over in Levita. We're under stage 4 restrictions already. It's severe over there. Our golf course, not to go off again, but the golf course over there, they're not watering the fairways, they're just watering the greens, and they're buying water from somewhere else.
They're hauling it from Martin Lake to have storage rights.
Yeah. But there's no reason that the entire golf course should be watered. Everything that you guys do here with the restrictions in Walsenburg is going to affect everybody down the line, all the way down to the border of Mexico. This drought isn't a local Walsenburg issue. This is a statewide, this is nationwide. Every decision that you make affects everybody else. We're all in this, unfortunately, all in this together. As far as restrictions and everything else, I think you guys should move forward with it for the good of everybody. I've been seeing the videos from the headwaters of the major rivers here and up in the mountains, and it's scary. It's scary. I mean, look at the flames around us.
You know, all the major reservoirs are way down in the whole state.
Yeah.
Couple more and we're going to try to get this resolved.
I think in general, in regards to the water restrictions, it is fairly hypocritical of city council to have selective enforcement on citizens when other things are prioritized over human lives. Just like the detention facility and water usage being proposed away from their citizens that live here now, or the data center for blue sky that is also being proposed. Neither conserves water, nor does giving water to the golf course. I know you want that business to succeed, but there are other ways besides grass. There are other ways to get money besides profiting off of human suffering. We need to listen to the people talking in the room because we live here. We care. People will be thoughtful and considerate to their neighbors, but you guys have to be a good example. You need to be doing fire mitigation and not feeding everybody out of control for low quality water. But we do need to find a solution, and it is very obvious that you need to do water restrictions. But just like the detention facility and the city ordinance, don't do things too late when you can fix it now. Please put us in restrictions, make it fair. So other people are not getting favorable treatment like the golf course. I would love for it to stay open.
We are following the ordinance under restrictions. We can get them changed. Right now, the ordinance for stage 3, the golf course still gets 4 acre feet on Martin Lake. I didn't write that ordinance. Somebody else did.
But you're in charge of changing.
Same way with the grows. They're allowed 50,000 gallons. I didn't write that.
But things need to be. Drought is worse now.
I think we agreed to work on the changes in the ordinance, so.
As long as it's fair for everybody.
Real quick, Mayor, if it's on.
Oh, you already spoke. I got two, Carmen, I got people ahead of you.
But make sure that.
Please.
Water hall is off on weekends.
Maybe we should take a break. It seems like everything's getting a little tense in this room. Answers are getting really.
Let's get past this one, then we'll take a break. Okay, order.
My name is Jennifer Falbo, and I just had an idea. You guys were wondering how to contact people to let them know about the water ordinance or water restrictions, I guess. You guys have like an emergency, like when there's an emergency in town, like reverse 911 kind of thing that calls go out?
Yeah.
Water is kind of an emergency, right? You're making these restrictions because you have a water emergency. Is there a way maybe that service could be accessed to let your residents know that there's water restrictions?
We could do, that's a very good idea. We could do the reverse 911 tomorrow.
Thank you.
Next.
This is very fast comment. This is other part that you need, before take decision, this both problems is connecting. In case you reopen or open one detention here, you have idea how many millions the gallons use people in one detention?
Yes, let's try to get past this stage 3 restriction thing.
Yeah, but the water restriction for you.
I know that's not,
The detention use millions.
that's not in the ballgame right now.
You need to take care in both decisions.
I understand that. Thank you. David Rouse. Rush, however you say it.
All this area from just a little bit south of Colorado City, all the way to Las Vegas, New Mexico, is classed as high plains desert. It always has, and it always will be. It doesn't get much moisture, rain or snow. I'm not gonna water grass that isn't native. And I don't water at all. If it's supposed to be watered, I'll get it from the sky. I use as little as I can get by with. Yeah, everyone about that. Or artificial grass.
No, yeah, I've shut mine off. I think places like golf courses could go to more of a zero-scape type format. They don't have to have all the grass they got. So there's a lot of things that we can do when we reevaluate the restriction stages that we have to go back through because they're wrong. They're antiquated. We never had the tool to monitor usage like we do now with the Metron meter. So we have more tools available to us now too. So we'll get there. Any council? I haven't heard a motion yet. I've heard.
I'm gonna make a motion that we go to stage 3 water conservation measures for Walsenburg.
I got a motion by Fred Ecker.
Second.
Second by Ronald Stafford.
Further discussion?
Effective 1.
Effective tomorrow, tonight,
Second.
soon.
Or Friday, let it hit the paper.
I say Friday, that allows
That way
a day for each audit.
we can do the reverse 911. It'll be in the paper by then. And on our website, I think that's adequate. If it's. Okay, I got a motion by Fred Ecker, a second by Ronald Stafford. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Ronald Stafford,
Yes.
Fred Ecker,
Yes.
Pamela Bragweiser,
No.
John Martinez,
No.
Jennifer Novak,
No.
Veronica Mays,
Yes.
Mayor Bazzani.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And that is effective Friday.
Yes.
Friday morning. Can we get that on reverse 911?
Yes.
Can we get it on Facebook and every other way?
Yes. Not every other way.
I mean, keep thinking,
We'll do what we
we can have the,
Skywriter airplane with a banner behind it.
you know, what's Also, if we can give suggestions, you know, like, I don't know, brown wash it down, you know, military showers, we used to do that in our house. Military showers and just things we can do as a community.
What is it gonna take to go back to 2?
Rain or, or snow.
Well, another motion. You could redo it anytime you want. Next meeting, if we get a lot of rain, you can change it right back.
Even if we don't.
Yeah, whatever, so.
But I want to make sure that we follow it. No water hauls on weekends. I mean, if people are asked to restrict, then we have to follow it to
And
what it is.
And we start immediately looking at how to change these ordinances so that there are triggers.
And for some of these, the grows, the golf course, all those, like, we know if they're watering or not, and those are easier to monitor. So, I mean, I think that those at the very least should be monitored because of the amount of water that they can do. And cemetery shouldn't have any water use, right?
Shouldn't.
That's what I'm saying. So that should be an easy meter to monitor.
I would like to see one day groves and cemeteries and all golf courses all on raw water, because using potable treated water is what's expensive. Plus, we got way more raw water than we have treated water, so. But let's, we can make it a point, John, we can start working on the amending what you give us. We'll start on that. I can possibly in front of the Utilities Commission.
I also want to say to Dave's comment about high desert, it is high desert, but the reason this community here is because it has water. That's why people settled here. We have the snow melt, we have the river, we have 5 lakes belonging to the city storing water for us.
But we don't have it now.
Yeah.
We had probably the worst year any of 50 years that I know of, so, our problem is our runoff area, our basin is so small. If you get a drought just in the Cachera Basin, basically, it can dry out. It's not a big runoff area.
The state is considering joining other states in a cloud seeding program this coming winter. You might want to write a representative that we would like to participate in that. And maybe chemically we could get more rain.
Yeah, I'm not sure how effective that is. I know that they've tried it. I'm not sure how.
Oregon, Nevada,
What it costs.
Montana, a lot of our neighbors that are in the same boat as us right now.
So we got it. We passed that. We got a long ways to go.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
So next one is action on ordinance number 1221, second reading. Somebody want to make a motion?
So I need a little, can I get clarification?
Sure.
Last time, a no vote to put it to the voters meant a yes vote to denying it now.
It depends on how the motion's made.
Okay.
A yes vote means it's going to the voters.
It depends how the motion's made.
Well, we have to read it right here.
No, because you can make a different motion.
Anybody interested in making a motion so we can discuss it?
I make a motion that we adopt the ordinance amending section 16-4-7 and 16-4-720 of the Walsenburg Municipal Code concerning the Criminal Detention Center. I make a motion that we just pass it.
Second.
Mr. Hyatt, can they make a motion for half of the ordinance?
Oh, did I not?
In reading?
I think you only have 2 rational courses of action here. One is you can have a motion to adopt the ordinance as is, and the effect of that would be to send it to the ballot. A second way that you can approach it is you can amend this ordinance. And by deleting certain sections of it, you can effectively adopt the initiative as it was submitted without sending it to the ballot. And if that's the way that you want to go, if someone asks me, I can tell you how to amend it.
How do I amend?
For wants to ask you.
How can I amend it, Mr. Hyatt?
So if you have a copy of the ordinance in front of you, take a look at the title first. And you would strike from the word submitting down to whether to. So you would strike the word submitting to a vote of the registered electors of the city of Walsenburg, Colorado, at a general election Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026. A question of whether to. You strike all that language.
Okay, so I started adopt an ordinance.
Yeah, and then you would change the word adopt by adding an ing. So it reads adopting. And then your title is going to read an ordinance adopting ordinance amending sections 16-4-700 and 16-4-720 of the Walsenburg Municipal Code concerning the Criminal Detention Center CDC district.
Okay, let me see if I can do it right this time. Go ahead.
Then the next portion, you would go down to the fourth whereas. It says, whereas CRS 3111-104 provides that if the city council fails, and you're going to strike that whereas and all the language down to the bottom of the page.
So then I would start at be it ordained.
Yeah, you take out the fourth whereas and all the language down below that to the bottom of the page.
So I have to read the first three whereas.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the next amendment portion is you're going to flip the page and you're going to go to section B, which is about the bottom 2/3 of the page. So it says section B, the official ballot. And you're going to strike that paragraph and everything to the bottom of that page from that point.
Okay. If I could just make a note, page 2 and page 4 were not in-house.
I'm sorry.
When you copied it, you didn't copy it front and back. So. If
Oh,
anyone
I'm sorry.
picked up, it's
So,
not
yeah.
house here. So Jennifer, you need to do it from the
Page 2, section.
page 2 and page 4 were not there.
Should I go around another copy?
No.
I don't,
It's online.
mine
I think I got it.
is. Yeah, I think.
Did you get that?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Then go to the next page, and at the top of that page, it says measure R against the measure. You see that? And you're going to strike that line and section D as in dog.
Do I read E, F, and G or strike E, F, and G?
Well, you're going to strike section D. And then what will happen is just need to indicate in your motion that we're going to, or you can do it if you want. You're going to have to, the section numbers or letters will have to be redone
Okay.
so that they follow properly in sequence.
Okay. So then I
So
just
the-
need to strike section D and then read below that.
That's right. So the effect of that is you've taken out all the language that refers the measure to the ballot. And you're just adopting the language that was in the initiative with the additional sections that we have to have because it's an ordinance that you're adopting. But you aren't changing any of the language within the initiative. You're not allowed to do that.
Okay. Got it. I think I got it.
I think that's changing a lot of the language, but
Okay. I think I got it. I make a motion that we adopt or that we amend an ordinance to adopt.
Adopting.
I need it.
Can I-
Adopting can you help me?
Yes, if I may. So what you're going to want is a motion to amend ordinance number 1221. An ordinance adopting ordinance amending sections 16-4-700 and 16-4-720 of the Walsenburg Municipal Code concerning the Criminal Detention Center CDC district, and striking the fourth whereas and all the language to the bottom of that first page, and striking section B on the next page and all the language to the bottom of the page, and striking the language on the next page at the top of the page that says measure or against the measure no, it shall be deemed to have failed, and striking section D at the top of that page.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly what he said.
Yeah, can I just second that?
That's for your motion. That's your motion.
That's my motion?
So
Okay.
moved.
Okay. Thank you, Dan.
So seconded.
Second it.
Okay.
motion by Jennifer Novak and second by Veronica Mays. We have discussion. I would like to say that this ordinance was passed in 1995. The citizens of Walsenburg and the county brought it there. There's a use by right. I think we're subjecting the city of Walsenburg to some extensive expenses, and I believe the voters of the city of Walsenburg should decide whether they want to subject themselves to that. There's laws that Core Civic could probably sue Walsenburg and make them pay for everything they got in there. And I would rather the citizens of Walsenburg make that decision than I make that decision. And I'm not going to give my viewpoints on detention centers or anything else, but I think we owe it to the citizens of Walsenburg to have them vote for this. That's my opinion.
I agree.
Anybody in council?
I agree with the mayor that this should go to the citizens for a vote.
Anybody else?
I'm concerned that we may not have time and that this could all take place beforehand. I also think that this is the wrong side of history for this community to be on. And any chance I get to vote for human rights, I'd be happy to.
So just so I'm clear, if we pass this motion as it is, it's done. If
No.
we fail, no?
No, this is a motion to amend the ordinance.
Okay, then what
So
happens?
if you pass it, you've amended the ordinance. And then after that, you would have to have a motion to adopt the ordinance as amended. If it fails, then you go back to having a vote on whether or not to adopt the ordinance as it was submitted.
That's what I was trying to get to. So if we don't, that it would still end up going to the ballot. I mean, it doesn't die.
That's correct. If you
Okay,
don't
that's
adopt the amendment.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to clarify. Thank you.
I'll clarify that for me. If it fails, we still have the as it is?
Yes.
Okay, so I thought I heard you say.
So we're just voting to amend the ordinance first.
Yes.
And then whether it passes or doesn't pass, we have to still do something else.
Correct. Okay, the ordinance.
Cynthia had her hand up first.
Cynthia Cresswell, CRESSWELL. Bear with me, I need to open my phone. Before I start with my written statement, I want to read to each and every one of you. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Nowhere within that statement does it say only if they come here legally. Nowhere. So as I read what I'm going to read, I would like every single one of you to seriously listen, pay attention, feel it in your heart, because all of you are here because somebody came across on a boat somewhere. Okay? So please seriously take into consideration, don't smirk, don't act like you're not paying attention, because I've been watching some of you through the entire meeting. So please, and I mean no disrespect. With that, good evening to the dais, the interim city administrator Galusha, city clerk, and everybody that's in attendance. Thank you for coming. Thank you for those online. I presented to each of you a fact sheet with QR codes to verify references if you are so inclined. With that being said, Mr. Lavender said that you each have not had enough time or not enough information presented to you. I respectfully disagree. You have had much information presented to you over the period of the last couple months. I myself has presented information to you. Now, whether you chose to read that information, pay attention to it, digest it, that's solely on you. I do realize all of you are busy. You each have jobs to do. Okay, so taking the time is much appreciated by all of us. But again, you have the opportunity, so that's not an excuse to fall back on that you did not know. The first thing that I want to present, and this kind of covers dual things. If Core Civic were to get a contract at half capacity, if open, it would utilize daily approximately 42,000 to 52,150 gallons a day, which breaks down to approximately 120 to 149 gallons per detainee. The city should not be subjected to that. The residents of the city should not be subjected to that. With our current drought situation and possible concerns of not only Walsenburg, but Levita and Trinidad of running out of water by the end of the year, none of the residents should have to be placed in an unsustainable situation. The residents of this community should come first. Your duty as the sitting elected officials of the Diocese of Walsenburg is to the citizens first and foremost, not on self-perceived illusion of possible financial gain. Core Civic left Walsenburg high and dry once before, and if given the opportunity, would not hesitate to do so again. Is this what you want your legacy as elected officials to be? True enough, this ballot initiative was created with the intent of putting it to the voters. However, the current changes within the government funding has created an escalation of urgency to circumvent a possible contract award, which would then leave the city in a situation with no way out, and the citizens will be the ones to suffer for your lack of action. Again, all we're asking is empathy, compassion. These are people that have come here for the same thing your descendants and ancestors came here for, a better way of life. True enough, there were no borders to cross when your ancestors came, but they came across an ocean from England and every other place to escape circumstances that they wanted better for their families and their children. I thank Mr. Hyatt for helping to put forth the proper motion. I thank the council people that are willing to put a target on their back and go against the opinions of Mayor Vazani. Okay, your people came here just like me.
Yep.
Whether Core Civic will want to spend that kind of money to come after Walsenburg, I doubt it. But, you just had,
I think it's the people's choice. I like the ballot issue.
okay, so if it goes to the ballot, for instance, they just took a man from a hospital that had open heart surgery. Within 48 hours of having open heart surgery, they took him to a detainment facility. They're refusing the heart medication that could save his life. They're refusing the heart equipment to monitor, to enable him to continue living. There's children that are 3 years of age or under in detainment centers that they're breaking the law. They should have been placed somewhere already. Those children get sick. They're not getting life-saving medication. This is what you want to put on the city of Walsenburg? Again, this is the legacy that you want to leave behind?
President Obama started ICE in the early
That's
2000s.
Obama. I'm talking about you.
I'm not,
You, Mayor Gary Bazzani.
order, please.
Don't give me,
I'm allowed my opinion as well.
don't give me any of that crap. I'm talking about Gary
Give me your
Bazzani.
crap then.
Gary Bazzani and the current, you want to talk about being respectful? I have not disrespected you. Do not disrespect me. Do not. Okay?
It's the same.
I haven't disrespected you. But do not bring up things that are not.
Accuse me of having opinion versus a fact.
All I'm saying is you influenced a lot of votes up here. So you made your opinion known before the vote comes to pass.
It's not an opinion. It's a fact that they
It's an opinion.
zoning was passed. The zoning
Opinion is highly regarded.
It is a-
People that vote your way.
is a fact that the zoning was passed in 1995.
Do the right thing. That's all I'm saying is do the right thing.
That's what I'm asking you.
You want blood on your hands? I won't have any on mine. My people were indigenous here before your people got here. Yes.
We're not going to contest none of that. All I'm saying, going against our own rezoning policy, we're breaking the rules that was set in 1995.
Rules are made.
They have uses by right to have ICE detention center there, and they have an open use right.
Facility, not.
What happened to common respect here, and let me speak?
You interrupted me. You interrupted me at the same
You
time.
set the tone.
They did. No, I didn't, sir.
You set the tone. You interrupted her. Congratulations.
Back there interrupted me. Her. Anyway, I give my spiel. This zoning was passed in 95 to have a detention center. There were no restrictions. It's a use by right. And I believe if I sympathize with you, I think it's up to the vote of the people whether they want to subject themselves to taking on this burden of possibly costing them a lot of money to close that use by right. That's all I'm saying. I think it's the vote of the people. If they vote for it, I'm all for it. But I think they deserve the right to vote whether to take this risk. I don't think the voter that we have the right to change this zoning when it's been there for 30 years.
And if they get a contract prior to the vote, are you willing to accept responsibility and deal with consequences that come from your actions of things that may happen if that facility opens?
I have the responsibility to let the citizens of Walsenburg know what the possible ramifications would be if we try to change that. There are possibilities out there that it's going to cost the citizens a lot of money.
It's going to cost us water too. That's your responsibility
It's
to the
gonna cost
citizens.
our souls.
In
Souls has
1995,
nothing to do with
the
it.
concern wasn't whether or not people's constitutional rights would be violated, whether or not people would be scooped up off the streets for the color of their skin. Also, when they release people, when they decide that they can't hold them, they just open the door and push them out. And we don't have the resources to provide for that. If all of a sudden people are, well, we're not sending you out of the country, so now you're on the streets of Walsenburg with shoes in the winter, with clothing, with water. Our social services doesn't have the ability to meet that need either. think that young women are being sexually assaulted.
Yes.
I think ICE is stopping a lot of that. ICE is stopping. Hey, happened to
That is racist diatribe.
oh,
That's racist diatribe. You're doing the same thing that Truman is doing, saying all these immigrants are criminals coming into this country. That is bullshit.
Should you have ideas? No, right, you never is there. I'm with.
you do not have the floor, ma'am, please.
You shouldn't.
ICE is a federal agency. This is a lot of rhetoric. I have the floor, sir, please.
Come on, Gary. They're traitors to their fellow humans.
I'm not gonna debate what ICE is, what.
Why did you bring it up? You brought it up.
What's up?
You set the tone again.
I have the floor, sir. Would you please refrain?
You set the tone, like I said.
I'm not gonna shut up, are you? All I'm.
Shut up.
Code of conduct.
It's hot. Just let people comment. It's probably better.
Ryan, they were talking all at once.
Let them.
They didn't let me finish.
Vote.
All right. Let's start here. Go try to get to everybody.
Are we gonna do the timer?
Hmm?
Are we gonna do the timer?
We'll go 3 minutes apiece because we'll be here all night.
Wait a minute, you said earlier in the meeting.
All right, let's go all night. Let's go all night. Okay.
Can we take a restroom break?
Can we take a break first?
Go. We got a lot to get to. All right, 5 minutes.
I'm an old lady, Ronald.
I sit here and listen to everybody's opinion and I can't even give mine. Right. Wrong passing this.
Doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter what he says, but just.
Huh? I was just trying to talk to you guys. I think we owe it to the citizens to let them decide.
Have to deal with it.
Oh, lawsuit.
You and I.
Thing goes nice. Wow.
Have they broken bad?
It's still,
There's laws on federal. This pass lying on.
Some kind of
And you
hate that. Been worse than Tuesday.
Dark.
I have to take the Tuesday.
they won't let me talk.
We're out of here.
They won't ignore that part. So I never come in here.
Gotta go get a crown Monday.
Talk about that
I
later.
really don't want to because it doesn't hurt.
Outnumbered, but.
Show me the X-ray and I can't. I have these echoes in the back. Feel that you're just gonna break. It's like. Time.
The motion is everything. They're used to having. This, that's our zoning policy to be. But
Thanks, John. You can tell me that today.
Now read that.
I didn't know it was gonna be that.
What's on the screen?
I didn't know him.
But. Oh, Times we put them on in the past, our usage has gone up.
This county passed this in 95. I didn't pass it. I don't care what they do. I voted no, be breaking our own.
Yes.
I think our job as a council is not to.
Anyway.
What is,
We have to break. We don't pay, I mean. I have tried.
I'll take a compliment.
That covers half of it. I seen 100 on the outside.
Well, you take it too. And be like, you put the port. It's a good idea, Fred. Using the winter averaging to set individual limits.
Okay. I'm gonna have to run my water in the winter now, so I can get a high average next time it belongs on water restriction there.
Oh, and that's up to you.
then you can pay for the sewer on it too.
That makes a really good sense.
You've got that information.
Gives us more base water, right? So give everybody, like under stage one, give them base rate plus %.
So I'm just saying, if people wanna overdo it or something, got a means to find them. They've got their own history.
That old car. Probably cheaper. Meters. Not like this. If it has a high usage of. Not supposed to be watering. Adds the utility office. And then.
Oh, so it does
So I can water for 50 minutes at a time then.
Been on. They're the average. Over it. Based on what. That may not curtail people in the market. It wouldn't matter. It was a bunch of.
Yeah, no, I didn't see a lot of work. I didn't tell anybody either, so if you.
Took it to planning zone. I was gonna talk.
Right.
No, I promise you, I haven't told anybody. I didn't even tell the sergeants in the staff meeting. So, I gotta tell you this. I'll bet he doesn't even know.
Everybody probably knows now. Everybody probably knows now. Thanks.
Find out.
Yeah.
Sir, I didn't want to break. Let's on break. What are we doing?
I'm done. Pam.
Mister, we don't want to break. He's on break. I say start at 5 minutes. Let's go. Have 5 people.
Take both of them out.
Want to go home.
I do too.
Yeah, let's just get it started.
Billy, grab your now.
It was supposed to be a bio break and that was it.
Doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
I need to pay attention. It's been 5 minutes.
Yeah,
And-
you've given her plenty of time to come back.
All right, we're not gonna wait any longer. I got 2 councilmen out, but we're gonna go ahead and go.
Well, that's your turn.
Can I make this contractor with an agreement?
Fred, you have something more to say?
Over there. Look out, Kana. CONNEL. Waiting till November is going to open the door for ICE to have core civic, and every one of yours control. Again, adopting this ordinance is your only control over what happens. And by all means, people can go ahead after you pass it and put a petition out there and get the signatures just like we did to change it after. But it would guardrail your power and control in the situation. I appreciate you. Thank you. It gives me hope here. We really care about this. A lot of people have worked on this because we want you to have the control to safeguard the people's voice. As you claim, that is what you want.
Right.
If you do not do this now, the people might not have a voice by November. We have seen how quickly things are happening. You cannot stop that. And I think you're counting on the fact that you couldn't if you do this now.
I don't believe we could stop them if they wanted to come, no matter how this council votes or the ballot.
Okay, then just pass it anyway and let's see what happens.
I'm trying to save the taxpayers' money by a lawsuit and possible.
Suits happen all the time. You guys are getting like 5 people right now.
Let's let
But this would
the voters decide if they want to take that expense on.
for a good cause. Again, this is preserving their voice by November. Again, if they choose to later, they can change it. You guys can change it after. But if you do this now, then it will open the door for them to not allow you to do anything. We have seen over and over again, any type of oversight being rejected by these detention facilities, the people who run them. We have seen elected officials getting pepper sprayed for trying to inspect conditions that we all know are wrong. You know what's wrong.
I do not know that.
You do know.
I do not.
When people are dying,
Sorry, don't put words in my mouth.
when people are dying,
Because there'll be more people dying without them.
all this would do is to clarify what that facility was made for. You brought up the old ordinance from 1995. It is for criminal detention. Immigrants are not criminals. That is not criminal.
Illegal.
No matter how much you want to say it is illegal, sure, but it is not a criminal offense.
It's a misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor.
Let's let
It's not a good enough reason to give a death sentence.
the citizens of Walsenburg decide.
Affected food and water. For there to be rapes and assaults by the ICE officers to detainees. People are disappearing faster than you can believe.
Their accusations, I'm not sure I believe.
That is a lie.
Okay.
People who were detained prior to this administration had due process. It was legal. It was done the right way. This is not what is happening. No matter how much you want to claim it is not legal.
All I want is the citizens of Walsenburg to vote whether they want this battle or not.
No, you.
Wrong with that.
No, you're not.
Eleven.
Not preserving our voice at all by doing this.
This was zoned in 95. We have zoning policy, zoning regulations. Stacy Decker and David Roush was here. They're on planning and zoning. You got anything to add?
I do,
Okay,
but I'm gonna let Ms. Connell continue.
are you done?
By your logic, no ordinances should be changed. at all
You go,
because of litigation. Litigation can happen for any reason, but
ordinance can be changed, zoning can't be changed.
You know, it's kind of funny where how,
Hey, sir, you do not have the floor.
let her talk,
I'm letting her talk.
then shut up.
You shut up.
you absolutely can because that is literally your job here. It's literally every one of your job to do that. Again, if you do not adopt this outright, then Core Civic absolutely will undermine the ballot initiative by November. I promise you.
But our job,
We've seen it happen over and over again.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Our job is also to protect the citizens and follow our Muni code and our ordinances. If we follow our Muni code, this rezoning is not legal. I would support it. If the citizens of Walsenburg want to support it, I would get behind it.
Correct. Mr. Roush said at a P and Z meeting before he retired that they had.
Says their hand up.
Say so. If this ordinance went.
Sure,
You had your say. Let's,
Yes, and I'm bringing it up. You just mentioned.
let's hear from Decker.
Stacy, next.
So. Thank you for the attempt at rewriting the discussion for this evening. It's actually not that. It's
not what?
Point is not, the missed point is not 1995, it's 2015. When the marijuana laws were passed, it's a special use allowed inside the detention center. And so the problem here is the ballot initiative in and of itself, and this is where we get into problems, removes that, which means we're down zoning the detention center zone code. That's the problem that I see that we.
Say that again, please, sorry.
So by removing 16.4720 uses requiring special permit, the following uses may be allowed in the CDC district, but only if special use permit is obtained according to the provisions of Article 3, Division 1 of the chapter. Retail marijuana stores, cultivation facilities, products manufacturing, marijuana testing facilities. If we down zone, that's where I see us getting into problems. That's the issue that I have with this. The definition sections, we can update that. Not worried about that at all. Let's clarify it. I don't care. But when we down zone, that's when we get into legal jeopardy. Because by removing that without anybody else having a voice in that, that's where we have some legal jeopardy. But the definitions, yeah, let's put them in. I don't care. That's not the problem. The problem here is when we take out 720. The original ordinance from 1995 was superseded for this zone in 2015 as all the other ones were. That's where I see our problem. So if we push forward tonight, I'm fine with it. That's where I have my only concern. Thank you.
Who is next?
I'd like to go, please.
Go ahead.
Thank you for bringing that information. I just wanted to point out that it seems many of you weren't even aware of what he was talking about. And so that kind of shows us all what we're dealing with here. And it's kind of a shame. The other thing I'd like to point out is, I know you want to leave it to the people. You keep saying that over and over and over again. And I believe that. Right? We all want to be equal, equitable. But you've made it clear in your words here, there's much more that you want than just letting the people vote. Yeah. You've made it a point to show your side of it. You have even mentioned something about punishment for not doing the thing. Okay, this was earlier on, not when there was a back and forth. But I need you to know, I don't know where you read your information, where you're listening to it, but there are major human rights violations happening. There are people being raped, there are people being tortured, and if you don't believe that, I see you on the side of the earth, this flat side.
There's two sides to everything.
And see, I don't want to go back and forth with the childish thing back.
I don't either. I didn't even want to get into this part.
Here's the thing. The reason why I'm bringing this up, because if these detention centers are allowed to open, there will be more human rights violations. And yes, we've already heard about the blood is on your hands, but so much worse. Your history, our Colorado history, things are going on all the time. I don't want to have to teach my students about detention or concentration camps that we allowed, that we could have stopped from opening. I don't want to do that. You're forcing me to do something that should never even take place. It's a shame. And to top it off, it's not just going to be the so-called criminal, illegal immigrants. It's not going to stop there. Do you know how hard it is, how scary it is for me to drive 3 hours here and now I have to drive back? I have to have a buttload of people on social media, on my phone to make sure I make it home safe, because they do not care. They will stop and they will kidnap anyone. They're already doing it now.
I'm not going to get involved in that part of it.
I did not ask you to talk. I'm just looking at you, speaking to you directly right now, because it seems like there's much more that you want just voters or people to have a vote. You made it very apparent, and I will leave you with that.
All I stated was what.
Mayor Rosani, I'll be very fast. If
Please.
everyone's willing to let me-
I like fast.
30 seconds. Just 30 seconds of your time.
Go ahead.
I'll even stay right here. I just really cannot express to you enough the danger that it puts everybody in having these facilities here. There's so many disabled people that are in this community that are immunocompromised. Like I said, my mom is a first responder in this community. She has emphysema. If she's exposed to tuberculosis, if she's exposed to these horrible things that are happening, these infections, she could literally die. It's not a matter of whether or not it's profit or not. For me, it's whether my family gets to live or not. I think that's important, and that should be talked about. That's not talked about enough, is that people's families are getting put at risk. And you should consider that. And I encourage you to please consider that their human lives are going to be suffering, including my mother, who has been here. She's dedicated her whole life to this community. She dedicates her whole life to being a first response. She dedicates her whole life to just helping people. She shouldn't have to lose her life and risk losing her job trying to report the atrocities that are happening because she's just wanting to do her job properly. Thank you.
Thank you. And I don't want any of that as well, but all I'm trying to do is tell you what the facts are. This thing was put in place in the late 90s. I didn't do it, and it was zoned with the use by right for all penal criminal.
To give you the full picture, the full facts.
I'm just trying to remind everybody, I don't think this council has the right to do what you're asking. I'd like, if the voters or the people would pass it, I think we got a better chance. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think if the people were that concerned about it, they'd be here in opposition of the ordinance.
They're not.
Have their hands up online.
I got a bunch here in the room yet. I think the room takes.
People that are opposing this have their hands up online, and they know who they are. We all do. So.
Your word, listen.
Let's go in order here.
My name is Sally Sharp, SHARP. I am a dispatcher on the Colorado Rapid Response Network. We are the folks that people call when they see ice. I've been on it since 2017. There has been a dramatic shift since the first Trump administration and since the Biden administration. When the second Trump administration came in, people have been calling nonstop. People are terrified of ICE. They are terrified of what could happen. People are calling for all kinds of reasons. We had a gentleman, a sister of an Afghani refugee here in the United States, legally here, because he was helping our troops translate and working with our troops. He had blood running out of his eyes. She was calling us because she didn't have any other way of getting him help in the system. This is the kind of group that you want in your house. In Walsenburg, you want these people in your house. You should be ashamed. You have the right to resist as a local entity. You should resist. This is wrong. This is dead wrong. And you should know it. These people are being hurt, and they only came here for a better life. And most of them, if you would charge them, they only have a misdemeanor for crossing illegally into this country. It's not a felony. It's a misdemeanor. And you all should listen. Look at me. Listen to me. You should vote on this amendment, and you should vote positively, and you have been elected to do that. And the person that was online seemed to know what he was doing. And so do your jobs. You don't need to wait for the people because they elected you. Thank you very much.
We're not done in here.
I decided, we've been in here a while. We're going,
Had their hands up.
Know that she's gonna back. you up.
Yeah, she is.
you don't want a canvas of the opinion? We just had a councilman.
Or you do online?
You guys have spoke.
No, just do.
Jenna Fox, please. Jenna
Hi.
Fox.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
So I've been watching this and I'm so bothered by the fact that these people are so afraid to let the citizens of Walsenburg vote on this. So why leave it up to the city council of 7 when you can leave it up to the whole community of the citizens of Walsenburg? So if they vote no, then it's a no. And if they vote yes, then it's a yes. And so I guess listening to all these people here, the lady that's afraid to drive 3 hours away in the dark, maybe she shouldn't have driven here from 3 hours away.
That's
actually, it's my turn, actually, lady. I'm wondering why so many people are here who are not from Walsenburg.
Because
and so hello.
I'll have you removed.
It is my turn to
I'll
speak,
have everybody
lady.
removed that wants to disrupt people. Jenna Fox has the
Yeah.
floor.
So if
Laugh.
I find it interesting that people are so afraid to let the citizens, not the non-citizens of Walsenburg, vote. I think it's up to the city council to allow that, to let us vote, whether you think it's wrong or right. So you people who get up there, and half of you, I don't even know who you are. Some of them I do know who you are, and I find it.
Please, she has the floor.
And that is exactly
like you did us.
And that is exactly my point. You have these people who just want to interrupt it with their opinions, and I'm trying to give you mine. Let the citizens of Walsenburg vote on this, not the city council. Because if it's against the law or against anything, then it's on us, not the city council. So you people sitting there in the audience with their hands up and you're afraid to drive home, I say shame on you and quit shaming our city council. Thank you.
Thank you. Charles Bryant.
His supporters, she has children.
My supporters. I'm trying to do what's right.
Good evening, council.
Thank you.
Yes, back when the petition was first submitted to the city prior to it getting a full sufficiency review as it did on June 26th, there was a protest hearing where a number of considerable legal issues, and I use the term considerable because that was the language reflected in the protest hearing, judges summary of the hearing, but were raised, but they were determined to be outside of the scope of the hearing. Now, with you all reviewing this tonight for possible passage, I'd say that those questions are certainly within the scope of this hearing. So before asking the city of Walsenburg to assume the legal responsibility of adopting and enforcing this ordinance, has the city attorney provided the council with a written legal opinion explaining how the ordinance would be interpreted, administered, enforced, and defended in light of the legal issues that the hearing officer expressly recognized were outside of the scope of the hearing, but did not dismiss entirely?
Nope.
So to just clarify this evening, what we have then is an ordinance that has not had any sort of formal legal review, as every other less even, you could say, meaningful ordinance has. We've had goat ordinances deliberated that had a more extensive legal review than this. When we look at the vagary that's there in the ordinance in its current form, I agree with you that we certainly are getting into some tricky legal waters, that if that's a crusade that the citizens of Walsenburg want to undertake, all the power to them. But let's call it what it is tonight. We have 7 of you up there on the board, and you're being painted into this binary decision as far as passing this amended version, withdrawing the voice of the people, or being an evil supporter of ICE. I'd say that leaving it to the voice of the people, as was the initial campaign narrative of the petitioners, is a worthy hill to die on. Go ahead and leave this to the voters, I sincerely ask, because you represent the citizens of Walsenburg here, and not far-flung individuals that were gathered through an activist campaign on Instagram and Facebook. There's real-life people that here in town that don't engage in these theatrics, and we all know it. Say if there were to be individuals that showed up from the opposing side tonight, there'd likely be conflict, let alone room in the meeting chamber there. There are plenty more people among the electorate that would like to have a voice concerning this measure. And in all reality, you're acting as if, or the petitioners are acting as if it was passed this evening, it would go into effect immediately. Well, it takes 30 days for that to take full effect. So we're well into September, mere less than 60 days before the voters could decide. So if you were to pass this with this excuse that there's emergency measures needed due to some of these conflicts that have been mentioned that, mind you, haven't been adjudicated through the courts yet, only through the court of public opinion, I'd ask that you put those on the record, exactly what those specific emergency terms are that necessitate eliminating the voice of the public through the ballot box as the petitioners originally supported. Thank you, council. I'll yield my time.
Thank you. Lady back here in the corner's had her hand up long time. We'll alternate, one up there and one down here. We ain't going past 9 o'clock on comments.
Thank you. My name is Sally Moore, Moore. Sometimes the way to accomplish one thing is to go about it in a roundabout way. To save water in this area, you would want to prevent the prison from opening in any form. So concerns about being sued, a cost to the city, could be recouped in water saved. What you think about ICE or detention, a detention center is not important. You can approve this ordinance as amended just to save water. If you do it to save water, it removes you from going against what you believe about ICE. It removes you from having agreed with something you don't agree with. You actually have a huge opportunity here. Use it. Approve it to save water in this area. I'm pretty sure this will not be the only year of significant drought.
Robert Ellsworth.
All right, that took some effort to get unmuted. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes. All right, thanks. So, Ellsworth, ELLSWORTH. I've expressed my opinion on this before in the past, when this first started happening, and I'll just say it again briefly. By definition, I am a capitalist. I own a business in town. I hope to make a profit. I hope to make money. I hope to do this, but I want to do it in an ethical way. This prison for profit is completely unethical, in my opinion. Profit on the backs of misery of others is a complete illness in this country. Speaking of illnesses, has been mentioned before about the tuberculosis in the prisons or the detention centers that are up north. They have declined to allow healthcare workers enter to take care of people. That is a problem. I grew up with a half immigrant family. My family came over on a 747 in the 1960s. My other side of my family, the Ellsworth name, probably came over on the Mayflower. We've been here forever. My grandfather, who was in World War II, made it a point to take me to Stutthof, I believe, concentration camp in France when I was a young kid, to let me remember and so I would never forget the atrocities that happened with the kind of fascist regime that was back then. Unfortunately, that's going on now, and it is very strikingly similar. I was born in this country. My family came over illegally. But those who do come over illegally, it is a misdemeanor. They do pay taxes. They pay taxes in food. They pay taxes in gasoline they buy. They pay taxes on utility bills. They pay taxes. There has been a complete barrier to becoming a legal citizen that has been put up that is making it more of a nightmare for people to try to do. You know, if we really did want to welcome people into this country, which I don't think we're doing anymore, you know, back in the day, there was Ellis Island and there was a port of entry. There is no southern port of entry, at least none that I'm aware of, you know, and I'm going off topic here. This is about our situation. Leave it up to the citizens to decide. I lean 1 foot Republican, 1 foot Democrat. I am unaffiliated at the moment because I'm completely disappointed with both parties, actually. But please leave this up to the citizens to decide, and the chips may fall wherever. That's it. Thank you guys for your time and your effort. Good night.
Thank you. Brian Lelander.
I'm not going to make any friends tonight. I believe in this measure. I helped to make sure that they had a petition to get to you guys. I am going to vote for this measure. But Gary's right. There are two sides of the coin. Charles is right. There are potential issues that can come up with this. The biggest thing, I don't worry about Stacy and its downzoning because I don't think there's any vested rights until you actually start taking a hold of those rights. But under a normal process for amending the zoning code, you would have a public hearing and you would have the opportunity for those people who thought this was a terrible idea to speak in that public hearing through a process. Now, going through a ballot and having the electors decide is the same thing as having a public hearing. Amending this motion, taking this decision upon yourself, I think opens you up to some of those concerns that Gary has. I know you guys have a whole lot of concerns. I know there's a whole lot of fear. But the process is a process. I encourage you to vote down this amendment and to send this to the ballot and let the people decide, because this room does not reflect the community as a whole. These people feel very strongly. There's a whole bunch of people who feel very strongly in the middle. Let the voters decide, because I don't think you can judge where that falls right now.
Thank you. D. May Sandoval. I didn't get no booze on that one. D.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, Mayor, I just want to say, I believe you need to stop with the fear mongering because you sit up there and you state that you are stating facts. You don't know for a fact that Core Civic is going to come back and sue the city. You don't know that. You're assuming that, but yet you're telling everyone in Chambers, stick to the facts. That's not a fact. You also say, let the people decide. You know, Mayor, you and I have had many conversations, just one-on-one conversations, and I've shared this with you before. When it meets your narrative, that's when you think it's okay. Let the people decide. Did the people decide to go, that you should go out and take what belonged to the city out at the Lathrop Park Youth Camp? Did the people decide that? No, you decided that. So quit talking through both sides of your mouth, Mayor. Another thing, how disrespectful of you, Gary, and I'm going to call you Gary as a known acquaintance. You have a woman sitting in Chambers who was in the ICE concentration camp in Aurora, sitting in Chambers there, and you want to talk about ICE rhetoric? How dare you insult her? She's a native. I cannot believe, Gary, sometimes the things that come out of your mouth. Is it because she's native? Because she's indigenous? Because she's a woman of color? Is that why you want to talk about ICE rhetoric? She lived it. Another thing, it's your job as counsel. There's another one out of both sides of your mouth. Your job as counsel. You pick and choose what your job as counsel is. You don't stick to the rules. You don't stick to the laws. You pick and choose at each and every chance that you get. And in response to Stacy Decker, I believe City Attorney Hyatt already addressed all of those things when we presented this initiative to be allowed to go on a petition. Did he not? Are you saying, Stacy, that City Attorney Hyatt doesn't know his job? And as far as Charles Bryant, the guy can't get over the fact that he was recalled years ago. He's still got a grudge about that issue. And that's why he comes on here, because let's be honest.
Let's try to stick to the ordinance, please.
Okay,
What
I
you're
am
trying to
sticking to the
discuss.
ordinance. He had a chance. Did anybody show up at his protest to support him? No, nobody showed up. It was just him. Did we have the chambers full? Yes, we did. So you vote as you need to tonight. You do. And hopefully Core Civic will not have the opportunity to change this prior to the November election. And if they do, be aware, Chief Finale, we will be watching, because we will not allow people of color, women of color, children, girls to be raped, abused, sexualized at the hands of law enforcement. Thank you.
The back right there. No.
Megan Rutcher, Rutter. I was detained twice in Minneapolis. I was detained and held at Whipple the first time for 4 hours for taking an immigrant to his hearing. I broke no laws. The second time I was detained, we were protesting. That was 14 and a half hours. Both times I ended up in Hennepin Memorial Center. I have the medical records because there are no arrest records on me. When we showed up in federal court, the judge asked us who we were and why we were there, and then set us free.
Are you eating? No.
I moved here just recently to be near my aging parents. I live and work in this community. So if you say there are people in this community who have no reason to be afraid of ICE, it's not true. Look at me. Do I look like I'm somebody who ICE is going to detain? But I got detained twice for standing up for my rights and for standing up for the rights of others.
Jason.
First off, Valdez, V-A-L-D-E-Z. It is not unreasonable to ask city council to do what is right, contrary to what has been said here tonight. The entire purpose of this council is to make decisions in the best interest of the community. Town councils across the U.S. have made these decisions already, and more are coming. My tone tonight might be harsh, I might be direct and blunt. Yes, I am angry. My people are being hunted, and I won't apologize for being angry. My family settled this area before this was even the US, back when Spain owned this area. My family have been ranchers on this land for generations. Now, my father and my uncles have served this country in the military, Vietnam. Now, simply because of the color of our skin, our safety is compromised. I can't go to fucking Home Depot without worrying about what's going to happen if they're going to read my license plate and see my last name. My dad is a lot darker than I am. He has properties around here. My folks have properties around here that they need home improvement stuff for. I have to worry about him going to Pueblo because ICE has been picking people up there. I have to worry about him going to Colorado Springs, up to Denver, and stopping at Restore or Home Depot or Lowe's or any other hardware store, just because the color is his goddamn skin. And you all want to bring that here. I know some of you are not for that. We know damn well that Gary Visani is. He stated it publicly in the news. It's been all over national news what his opinion is. So you can't deny it.
Never did.
What?
Never did.
Okay, good for you. Stop interrupting. You wanted me to stop interrupting? Stop interrupting.
Make a deal.
Stop interrupting.
All right.
Yep. Thank you. Now, as to Jenna Fox and her question as to why there's people here from outside the community and why this matters to people outside the community. This isn't a Walsenburg issue. This is just one avenue where we're attacking this issue because the prison just happens to be within Walsenburg city limits. So that's why we did the ballot initiative for within Walsenburg. We can't do one in Huerfano County because it's not a Huerfano County issue, but it's a human rights issue. It is a county issue because it may be within the Walsenburg city limits, but it's going to affect everybody in this county. It's going to affect everybody in this state. It's going to affect everybody in this nation. It's going to affect every single person who comes here from another country because they might be put in that piece of shit building. That's why all these people here are here from Denver, Colorado Springs, and other parts of Colorado. Shit, there might be somebody here from outside the state. And as to that accusation from Charles Bryant about people coming here, that the other side, quote unquote, shouldn't come here because they might get accosted. Every single incident that has happened with our protest group has been started by somebody else. From the other side, every single time. That is a fact, 100%. We believe, as a protest group and all these people here, we believe that the right to voice your opinion is paramount. We believe in democracy. That's why we are out there on that sidewalk every Friday. That's why we are here. Because democracy is what we're after. So for somebody to make an accusation that people shouldn't come here because they might get accosted, that's not what we're here for. We might be angry. We might yell back and forth. We might tell each other to shut up. But we have that right. Because we are American citizens. That's what we're out there protesting about. For freedoms. The right to exist. The right to exist in peace. And right now, with this god-awful administration, we are not existing in peace. People are being hunted. People are being picked up off the street. Trans people are not safe. And it all ties together. All of it. Because it's a human rights issue.
Yes.
And for anybody to claim that you all do not have the power or the right to make a change, to stand up and vote and stand on the right side of history is absolutely ludicrous. Every one of you is an elected official. Every one of you has the right to make that decision. Every one of you has the right to stand on the right side of history.
Yes.
Thank you. I can't read those. Mark Craddock.
Hello, Mark Craddock, CRADDOCK. I want to address Gary Bizzani's comments just a little bit, his concerns about the zoning changes and what that might precipitate by law. As I read it, there is nothing in this proposed ordinance that would change either the legacy use made in that lot and then prison or its use by right. All it is doing is saying that immigrant detention is not in the definition of criminal detention center or penal institution. And I think one clear legal indication of that beyond the definitions here is that there are strong and longstanding state and federal statutes regulating how prisons operate. Those laws do not apply to criminal detention centers, which run strictly and totally under regulations drawn up by the Department of Homeland Security and ICE. They are a unicorn. They're a different thing. They are a different use other than the legacy use that has been made of that facility since the late 90s. So I disagree with you on that, Gary. People sue all the time, and this may end up as a lawsuit, but then, you've got recourse. I do want to mention Stacey Decker. I agree with him in that regards. He sort of downplayed the definitions of criminal detention center and talked about the apparent downzoning when it comes to marijuana. And should Core Civic ever want to start a grow, I think the city would have to very clearly and quickly look at changing that ordinance. I don't think Core Civic is going to be in the grow business anytime soon. So I'm not sure that's an issue. And Mr. Leelander said that although he believes in the measure, he believes that the process ought to run its course. And, I have spoken already tonight that it is a right and proper noble thing to say, let the voters decide. However, a lot can happen, and a lot has been happening between now and November 3rd, and letting the voters decide might be, not a reasonable option at this point. You need to do something now to protect yourself between now and November 3rd. So to Mr. Leelander's comment about trusting the process, Colorado election law says specifically how ballot issues are addressed. And one option is the municipal body can pass the proposed ordinance verbatim, or they can put it to a vote. So passing it verbatim, Mr. Leelander, is indeed a legitimate part of the process and was put in law so that the board has that option, has that authority, can make that decision. As I said earlier, even if this is a stopgap and these citizens rail against this and oppose this ordinance, as they can do any ordinance you pass, it will at least be in place in 30 days to stopgap and guardrail what might happen before November 3rd. And that is really my only argument in favor of it. You know, I'm very much an advocate of taking this to a vote to the people, but I don't want CoreCivic and ICE to strike a letter contract on November 2nd when you have no power to do anything about it. And that's really what this argument boils down to. Thank you very much.
Here, I don't think you've spoken yet. Everybody else has. You're gonna be the last one.
Yeah, that was not good either.
Yeah, you've spoken already.
I'll go on and.
I'll do you and you. That's it. That counts.
Give her more time.
And I'll do two more after you.
All right, thank you. Good evening now, council members. My name is Annette Leyva, and I am the South organizer with the Colorado Immigrant Rights Coalition. We are a statewide organization of over 100 immigrant, faith, labor, community, and business organizations that work throughout the whole state. We were founded back in 2002. And I've had the pleasure in my role organizing in a large area of Southern Colorado, including with the wonderful folks here in Walsenburg. And today I'm here to call to council to vote in favor of the citizens ordinance. It's important, like we've heard here today, the folks have done an amazing job talking about how this is a human rights issue that you all have the opportunity to address and a morality to address. But I also am here to focus on how it's going to be devastating for the people of Walsenburg, right? I know that you all are here elected to represent the people of Walsenburg, not necessarily to debate immigration policy. And considering that 3,000 folks live here in Walsenburg, the plans for this detention center have plans of housing 1,000 to 1,400 folks. That's an increase equivalent to 1/3 of the city's population. That would just put an additional significant strain on this infrastructure and public structure of the city that Walsenburg simply cannot handle. Earlier this year, the water main break left residents with little or no water for nearly a week. Residents have shared that water outages are just a common occurrence. And you all are here today voting on a water conservation ordinance. It's obvious that the water here is an issue. And adding a detention center would greatly increase the demand on a system already struggling. And this is something that's happening now that you all need to address now. And so passing this ordinance would be a way to prevent any additional strain that you all just simply cannot handle. And additionally, the promise that a detention center will revitalize the local economy is just not supported by the evidence. You look about the research, we passed around, I think, some fact sheets that have sources. If you want to look at the actual facts and resources and sources there, you'll find how the research shows that prison towns often experience lower retail sales, lower wages, declining nearby property values, right? Because as we all are here, we all will know Walsenburg to be and to have voted for this, right? And who's going to want to head down here to this prison town? Nobody. These facilities operate largely also as self-contained institutions, providing their own services, right? Food service, maintenance, transportation, and other operations. And they're going to be hiring already experienced employees from outside communities that are going to commute rather than local residents. So instead of strengthening the local economy, detention centers fail to offer these supposed economic benefits and will drain all your local resources, as well as council member mentioned, right? Just release these detainees into your streets with not sufficient social services to provide for these people that will just be on your streets. So council members, I just want to again highlight, right, that yes, this is a moral decision. It's an awful human rights abuse, but more so, you all are here to represent and do what's best for Walsenburg. And this detention center is just not it. you have the opportunity to prioritize the interest of Walsenburg, protect your community's resources, and safeguard its future. Therefore, I implore you to do what's best for the people of Walsenburg and vote to pass this ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's it. And we're gonna go past 9, I lied. But I guess I lie about a lot.
I understand that there is gonna be a open session now.
We're gonna vote after these two speakers speak.
My name is Janine Tenbrook, last name Ten space Broeck. And I just want to take a moment to introduce myself since I don't live in Walsenburg. I live over in the San Luis Valley, over the pass. And the reason that I'm here, there are many reasons that I'm here, but one of the reasons that I'm here is because if a 1,400 bed facility opens up here in Walsenburg, my neighbors are going to be kidnapped, tortured, raped, killed, assaulted, and shuffled around the country with our tax dollars. You expressed concern about tax dollars being spent with our tax dollars in order to make money for CoreCivic and Geo and the like. I'm also here as a white person because my Black and brown neighbors cannot be here because it's not safe for them to drive the 2.5 or 3 hours because they might be kidnapped, profiled, arrested, detained, regardless of their citizenship status. So I have prepared a statement that I would like to read, and I just ask that I not be interrupted as I read this. I am here to join the other voices in asking you to adopt this ordinance in order to keep the local detention facility for penal and criminal detention only and prevent it from becoming an ICE concentration camp. Timing is critical to save lives, and the time is right now, tonight. We have seen these kind of camps before in Nazi Germany and right here in Colorado and in America with the Japanese internment camps. And in truth, we continue to see them with the industrial complex, which profits on incarceration, on medical neglect, torture, forced labor, and racism. CoreCivic, who owns the facility here, has expertly refined the science of prison camps for profit. They abuse, neglect, deprive, dehumanize, and sometimes kill human beings, fathers, mothers, siblings, and children. I truly cannot fathom having any amount of power and opportunity like you do tonight to say no to murder, torture, internment, enslavement, rape, and countless other human rights violations and not acting on that opportunity. This is the power and opportunity you have right now tonight with this decision. But I also want to speak to the potential impact on this community here in Walsenburg. CoreCivic does not care about Walsenburg. It will hoard any profits that are generated by the camp while enabling the release of human beings made jobless and homeless by the cruel human trafficking machine that is DHS into this community without any resources. When communicable diseases like the tuberculosis outbreak that is ongoing at the camp up in Aurora right now occur here in Walsenburg, they will spread to first responders like this person's mother and to your community and to your families and to you. Your lives will be at risk because the disease does not care about the detention. It is relevant to acknowledge that the land that we are on right now is stolen land, taken through the genocide of Indigenous people and what we call borders, crossed the people who lived here prior to us. This matters because the borders we are claiming to protect are stolen and fabricated, and the vast majority of people crossing them are seeking work and safety for their families. Would you not do the same? If your family was at risk, and if a mythological legal path to citizenship in this country took decades, in the few cases, in the rare cases where it even worked, and was filled with deliberate racist barriers to entry, would you not do the same for your family? It is also relevant to acknowledge Jeanette Vizquera, who has demonstrated unfathomable courage in coming here tonight, in taking refuge in a church to protect her children, and in surviving 9 months in the concentration camp up in Aurora. If you don't know her story, take a look in Time Magazine and Democracy Now! And other publications, and listen to her voice. Now, she knows the horrors that CoreCivic wants to bring for profit and to profit upon at nothing but cost to your community. Not acting on this initiative now, tonight, will cost human lives. People will die. Respectfully, voices beyond Walsenburg matter in this decision tonight. Your primary responsibility is to this community of Walsenburg, but the state, the nation, and the world are watching you. I live over the pass in the San Luis Valley, and my neighbors, people who are critical to our communities and who are raising their families there, will be hunted and caged at even higher rates than they are now if this camp opens. ICE will terrorize and kill at greater rates across our state if hundreds of beds become available here. The deportation machine that shuffles people across this country, wasting resources and tax dollars, will use your town for profit, human trafficking, and dumping destitute people that your community will have to absorb without any resources. That is what our tax dollars will go to. And people of the world will know Walsenburg for its concentration. Well,
Veronica wants to go home.
Glad you are. To take over that.
My name is Jennifer Falbo, Falbo. First, I just want to say that initially I was so excited about this ballot initiative. Going to the voters, I thought that was the answer. But there's been a lot of ramping up and changing with policy and what DHS is doing. And just since the last time I spoke 2 weeks ago, there's been a lot more change. And I'll just go into what I need to say, but that's where I changed, was because DHS is changing policy. Pope Leo recently said something that moved me, speaking about how the world treats migrants and refugees. He said that we too often treat them worse than house pets or animals. I think of these words often. I'm here to ask you to adopt this initiative outright tonight, rather than waiting until it may be too late for your community. It closes a loophole in your zoning code and makes clear that federal immigration detention is not welcome. As I mentioned at the last meeting, if things in Hudson are delayed with the proposed Bighorn facility, ICE could quickly turn back to Walsenburg. The timing is even more urgent now. Wired recently reported that ICE is writing contracts declaring state and local law shall not apply to its facilities. DHS has simply started buying detention centers outright. A former senior ICE official said federal ownership will likely shield them from local zoning entirely. 10 more purchases are already planned, and Colorado is not exempt. Please do not forfeit your authority. Simply put, if a facility arrives first, Walsenburg's authority over it may not survive. That is why this ordinance needs to pass now, while your code still has the power to say no. In Washington state, just in this last month, a court had to force a detention facility to let state health inspectors in. There's a current legal battle right here in Colorado involving tuberculosis at the Aurora detention facility.
The county has still not been able to gain access. It's now been over 7 weeks. I ask you to hold on to why oversight matters. A U.S. Senate investigation found that over 1,000 credible reports of abuse and detention last year. Children mistreated, psychological abuse, severe medical neglect, so severe that it caused life-threatening complications and malnutrition. This medical neglect in some cases has led to death. Another life was lost over the weekend due to medical neglect in New Jersey. And I read today that there was another one towards the end of last week as well, just because of that. These are human beings, and this is happening in our country today. What does that say about us if we allow it to take place? And right now, private companies are being paid per child located to track down over 100,000 unaccompanied minors. At the very same time, funding for those children's legal aid has been cut out from under them. Somewhere tonight, a child is standing in an immigration courtroom facing a judge with no one beside them. These are real people. This isn't happening in some distant land. It's happening today in America. And you can decide tonight whether you will allow it to happen in Walsenburg. This is not rhetoric. It has honestly become our reality. Never in my wildest dreams did I believe I would be asking you for this kind of protection for human beings in the USA. Walsenburg is small, but your choice tonight is not. You don't have to be a part of this system. Adopt this measure outright before that choice is made for you and you lose any chance at oversight of a facility in your community. Thank you.
Comments? Anybody on council?
Sure.
I'm sorry, wait, it's like, we're supposed to go to 9, it's already 10 after. Sorry. You spoke already, ma'am. Thank you. All I can say is, the city and county put a lot of effort into getting the prison there in 95. I'm speaking.
It's an ordinance, you have to.
I did, I let you speak already. Quit interrupting me. Listen to Jason over there. Please. Okay. I don't think it's this council's duty to overturn something that was done in late 90s. Everybody knows how it was done. Anybody got any comments?
You did say that this part would be open for us to speak after
We did.
3 minutes or.
If you
No,
don't
you're
change
cutting
the laws,
people
why are
off.
you up there?
They already spoke
Change laws, why are you even up there? What's the point?
to enforce the laws we have. That's what we're trying to do.
You keep quoting 1995 and says it's changed in 2015. So that invalidates your argument.
Water law.
Please. Council have any comments?
I thought it was, should have went to the voters too, but I have changed my mind. The world has changed. It's different now.
Brief,
A brief?
a brief one,
I mean, quick.
maybe. Try. One of your employees, Gary, Jose Sandoval, you were at his funeral, you brought his truck. All of my grandchildren were climbing all over it because he's also there. He was their grandfather. Now my grandson that kept him working so long into retirement because he had leukemia, and your help and support helped him take care of my grandson's family. He is now 21, made it through leukemia, is on seizure medicine, has thyroid problems, works at a Sprouts grocery store in Denver. He carries a birth certificate. He's a little brown boy. He carries his driver's license. He carries his seizure medicine. If they take that from him and we don't have access to him and he does not have due process to prove he's an American, we're going to lose him. And he's easily swept up. And I don't want that here. A lot of people, I've heard a lot of comments lately about where I stand politically. I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat. I am a constitutionalist. I want due process for everyone. I want human rights to be honored in our hometown and in our world. And I pray we can make the right choice. I think we have a chance to be on the right side of history.
Love to change ice. I don't think changing this zoning changes ice at all. So I'm more worried about what it's gonna cost the city, and I think that's where I'm coming from. Anybody else on council?
About just doing the right thing.
Anybody else on council? Fred?
This is a tough one, folks. I really don't think that people here really understand the gravity of the lawsuit that can follow up. You know, we're not. I'm just telling you my thoughts, my feelings.
Please, Fred Ecker has the floor, please.
It's scary what can happen to this city if things.
No, and I think that's
where
the voter could decide.
Yeah, I really feel the voters should make the decision, but let them decide where they want this town to go.
Anybody else?
So I guess I don't understand, like, the argument is if we decide, then we'll be sued, but if the people decide we won't be sued, I mean, I guess I don't understand. It's the same outcome at the end of it. It's just if we're putting it in place, well, we can as elected officials versus if, I mean, there was a very overwhelming response to the petitions. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but it was a lot more than were required. I mean, I think that alone kind of says what the people are saying. So I'm just trying to understand what's the difference if we pass it tonight and being sued versus it being passed by the voters and being sued.
Because then the city as a whole voted to stop it.
The city as
They
a
have
whole
the right.
voted for all of us.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a representative of my ward, and any of those people, and they do reach out to me for various things. This has been going on for a long time, and I haven't received any responses saying, don't do this. So, I mean, that's what we're here for. We represent. So I'm just saying I don't see the difference between us passing it or the voters voting for it for a lawsuit. I mean, if that's our only argument, I don't get it.
Because if there is some ramifications of doing this, I'd rather have the city as a whole make that decision. I don't think us seven can subject to the citizens of Walsenburg the possible financial burden this could put on them. It's possible. What's another month? Let the citizens vote.
Because the election's not till November.
Yeah.
That's not another month. That's months down the road.
And it's
the power of money behind you. There's a lot of things you can do. I don't know, call for the vote.
And DHS is changing policy constantly.
What's that?
DHS is changing their policies all the time. It's constant. It's a whirlwind of trying to keep up with what's going on.
Okay, I'm trying to follow what our statutes and immunity code tell us to do, so. We're ready for a vote, council? Please. Roll call, please.
Pamela Brightweiser,
It's the motion to amend.
Yeah.
Motion to amend,
It's a
yes.
motion to amend.
John Martinez,
No.
Jennifer Novak,
Yes.
Fred Ecker,
No.
Ronald Stafford,
No.
Harry Bazzani,
No.
Veronica Mays,
Yes.
and the motion fails.
You,
Howard.
can we vote?
Remember these faces. These names.
Shame on them.
And go back.
Shame.
I'm back.
You know?
Mr. Hyatt, can we vote on the ordinance that was in place on the agenda?
Exactly. The motion to amend failed. And so now
Yes.
what's before you is a vote on the ordinance itself without the amendment.
Can I have somebody make a motion to approve ordinance 1221?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 1221 on second reading. An ordinance submitting to a vote of the registered electors of the city of Walsenburg, Colorado at a general election Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026. Question of whether to adopt an ordinance amending sections 16-4-700 and 16-4-720 of the Walsenburg Municipal Code concerning the Criminal Detention Center CDC district.
I got a motion by Don Martinez, second by Ronald Stafford. Discussion?
Is this the motion to take it to the voters?
Yes. What was originally on the ballot, on the agenda? Discussion?
For what?
Yeah. Was
Have to ask for it.
And I'm saying for what?
Okay.
I will take care of it. Just leave it.
Then you are failing your women.
And everybody that voted for it.
You know, if you don't believe in the Constitution, if you don't believe in holding up people's constitutional rights, you're a fascist and you should resign. You should step down and protect the people.
Order, please. No comments from the audience, no comments from council. Call.
Pamela Brightweiser,
Yes.
John Martinez,
Yes.
Jennifer Novak,
yes.
Fred Eckert,
Just to accept
The ballot.
The ballot, yeah.
Doing.
Yes.
Ronald Stafford,
Yes.
Veronica Mays,
What other choice do we have?
Right? We're given one.
Mayor Bazzani.
Yes.
Motion passes.
God help us.
Does it take your choice away from you?
You should be upset with yourself. Our people were here before you. You're full of shit and you know you're full of shit. Every single.
Passes and you're.
Stand with the fucking Nazis. Remember,
Of course, it's the men that fail humanity. Of course, it's the men that fail humanity. Every fucking time.
Chief, can we get some order?
Order is saving human lives.
Can we go to the next, please?
Yes. Can we move on?
Constitutional rights of free speech, please. Thank you very much. You've already done that before.
Next, action on 2026 street overlay project. Yeah, as long as you're out here. I bid this project. Should I have to leave?
Yeah, that would be a good move. I can change my, I should have.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if he has, if his signature, I mean, it says on the agenda, request Mayor Bazzani's signature on there. So what's the point of him leaving the room?
I've read it. I mean,
That's, so so there is no financial gain for you in this action. Unless you vote against it.
So you could.
no, I'm not gonna comment or do anything with it.
Not the bids.
So we,
They're on there.
Isn't this the street project that was put in the budget for the 2 million or whatever it was that was approved?
it was in the budget for 2.7 million.
Wasn't this already voted on?
No,
So what happened was, I was ready to bring it to you in March. We had the water break. As a result of the water break, I said, we need to back off on some of these streets because we have water lines that are old that need to be replaced. So I cut this project back to just about half of what it was originally. Since that point, we had the war, so the price of oil went up. So, but Ms. Novak, your point of no capital improvements plan in place, so that it's kind of valid. This was approved in the capital improvements budget, but there is no capital improvements plan in place. I gave you a draft today, which you have not acted on, but, so either way you want to go with this, if you don't want to go with it and we move it back until after a capital improvements plan is in place, I'm okay with that. I think that we're okay going forward because there are no water lines under any of these streets that are being, that are at this project now. So it comes to you with a recommendation on the bottom of that memo, but that's not a very strong recommendation.
It's not a strong recommendation to do this? Or do it right now?
To do it right now. I still would like to move forward with this project at some point.
Can we just table it for another day?
I think just to make sure we have our bases covered, we should probably have the capital improvement plans done and then talk about this. Just to make sure that everything is just kosher.
I'm okay with that.
Anything that speeds us along.
Yes.
Agree.
So can we hold off?
Yes.
All right. Table.
Thank you, John.
I'd entertain a motion to table it. It's an action item.
I make a motion to table the memo request of Vanzani's signature authorizing notice of award to Pro Asphalt.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer Novak, second by Veronica Mays. All in favor? Opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. No executive session. No actions.
Business.
Oh, I missed one. Sorry.
Those
Right.
start pack.
We gotta pay a bill.
We got action on,
What's a temporary energy surcharge?
That's the cost of delivery, because this is coming from Canada.
So that's a tariff?
No, it's the cost of fuel, the increase in the cost of fuel.
I thought a while back that they were able to get this cheaper or something.
So there is a company, we could get it out of Denver, but because they're incompatible products, we have to install a separate tank and to meet this is what the way it was explained to me. So if I screw this up, it's not my fault. In order to change products, we have to have another tank so that we use one down before we do get the other one in place. And we have to go through several tests, State Health Department, before or during the process of making the change. And the cost of the tank is house prohibitive. We can't afford it.
we have to have this.
We have to have this. So what we're looking at right now is we have a stern pack that was, we believe was a bad mix. We sent samples back to the company of the two previous stern packs that were here. And then this one that we have in place right now, our operator said that doesn't look right. So if in fact it tests that it is not a right mix, we're going to get credit for either a half a load or a full load. But we
run the same company?
Same company out of Canada. So we need this we need this approved, but hopefully we're going to save at least half of this cost. That's all I got.
I don't see where we have much choice. Entertain a motion.
So I make a motion that we pay the invoice and receive polyaluminum chloride stern packs.
A motion by Pam Brightweiser.
Amount.
Oh, for $35,828.55.
I'll second it. Second by Fred Ecker. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Now there's no executive session. Actions, comments, I don't have nothing left.
So,
Comments?
well, Mr. Dorsey wanted the things, right?
Yeah, I don't have that, but it's not critical. If you want to wait on that, I can bring it back to you at the regular meeting.
Agenda for next.
Yes, I can do that. It's not critical. I do need to know if you guys want to do interviews on Thursday.
Yes, please.
Same time?
I can't be there at 4:30 on Thursday. The soonest I can get here is 5:30.
I think in the, not, we don't have a meeting, so we're fine. Well, we got golf.
I have golf. You're missing it.
I don't care.
So
So
5:30,
6, or what time are we talking about?
You want to do 5:30?
5:30 or 6, either one's gonna work for me. I just have to, I get off at 4:30 and I have to work in Pueblo that day. So
What day is better for you? We can.
Thursday's fine. It'll be fine. Oh, no, it won't. Never mind. I can't do Thursday. I can do Wednesday or Friday.
We can't do tomorrow because we have to do a 24-hour notice.
So
Friday.
Friday or Monday.
Can we do it earlier on Friday?
I can do it earlier on Friday.
Friday, 4:30.
I can do 4:30 Friday.
On Friday?
Do that?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay. Put those up. Thank you.
And then also in your report, you asked about, the,
Surface,
yes.
Stacy Park.
Park.
It's just, I mean, is there any, you want to try sand or you want to do something, or nothing right now, or what do you want to do?
Or maybe similar to the kind that was in the estimate that Jen gave us for the playground equipment.
The,
engineered wood fiber?
that, or are you talking about the,
In the bid, there
Whatever
was a
that-
surface mat. No,
Yeah, the
because it was
surface mat.
ADA accessible too.
but the surface mat where he's talking about is in the grassy area, so it's not on the playground part. We just don't want to have rock there. So I don't know if putting that'll be expensive to put there just to do weed control.
Yes.
You gotta make something wise, safety wise for why this stuff is.
I know. So is there a way we could get like a recommendation from Sursa on what would be the best thing to put there?
This outfit, anybody that's done work in Colorado should know those.
Well, so, but this is just park. This is not the playground. Going to be falling off of stuff.
Okay.
It's around.
It's around. It's not the actual playground. It's around to do weed control.
The rest of the park.
Oh, then you don't matter.
Well, it kind of matters.
It kind of matters because we don't want to do rock.
Oh, I wouldn't do rock.
Is sand acceptable?
What about glass?
Sand.
Can you just bring us some options?
Yes.
Please, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, and I have one more question. School resource officer. What say you?
Well, what say me is when we did the active shooter training and the school tour facility last Wednesday, we have a new superintendent. She has no idea where the 20,000 that the prior superintendent that told me they had from some fund, she has no idea where that is. She was waiting for the school attorney to get back to find out where they were gonna pull this $20,000 from. A fund that was only last Wednesday, so tomorrow would be a week and I have heard nothing.
But I just think it's important to have a school resource officer.
I would to have a resource officer. I am doing what I can. I've got sergeants and I've got people get how we can schedule this. Even if we used our patrol officer until we could get a full-time SRO, because they only go to school 4 days a week. Day shift patrol officer to make periodic checks there. At least it benefits us in some way, shape, or form. Not the ideal way, but some way.
So can you have maybe a report in 2 weeks?
A what?
A report of some kind in 2 weeks? Like what status is, what school board's thinking,
That's ma'am.
where we're at, because school starts, right?
Yeah,
Would it be possible for every officer to,
No, not every officer. You want to have like one or two.
I say you bring us.
There's officers that can talk to children
You gotta have the
I'll have,
and deal with families.
I'll issue these first responder cards. We have access, every officer in the department has access to the school 24/7 with the code card thing. Officers make periodic checks throughout the day, depending on which officer's on duty. The sergeants have, even when the sergeant was, one of our sergeants is a former SRO. He likes to stop and interact with the kids. Sergeant that's on duty right now interacts with them. So we do have multiple officers per day that stop in for any, not a defined length of time, but at some point they stop in every day.
But a true SRO would be there all day, right?
Is that I'm trying to get for our kids.
And I know the school board had it budgeted. It was in the budget. It was in the budget meetings. Like I watched all of those meetings. So I don't know what happened to that
I
20,000.
thought so too, when she's trying to figure out where this, now, we would have some obligation, because that's the way it works, because we don't have a full
Right.
SRO grant. But that could be something we get an SRO in the school this year, like combining with the school and us. Next year, we could apply for that grant because they're out, and even Mr. Galusha found it at one point, but there was no sense in applying for it without the school board's kind of blessing. Now we have their blessing. So I'll try to have that report for you in the next 2 weeks.
And that grant closed
Last week,
Yeah.
the 23rd, and we did
Yeah.
apply for it. We applied for, what was that called? It was like a COPS grant, basically.
Yeah.
But we got all the necessary paperwork in by the 23rd of July.
So you don't know if you got it? You could get it or you got denied already?
No, but we asked for 25, 250, or $125,000.
Goes for 3 years,
Yeah,
right?
3 years. It's like 125 a year.
So you still could get that?
Yes.
375.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I have every day. I'm gonna drive home tonight.
Oh, careful.
Thank you. Sorry, that wasn't supposed to take that long because I. Motion to adjourn.
Not even put together.
Sorry, I don't know if anyone else had questions, but
All in favor?
I'm done.
I'm tapped.
Somebody make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, she did. I seconded it.
Got a motion Veronica, second by Jennifer, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
So get Cass to look at the capital plan. That's okay. Oh, Tuesday.
Driving home.
I gotta walk to the north end of town to get
My goodness.
do a quote for a 2 to 12-year-old.
Well, what do you think? Spicy enough, guys? Was it spicy?
Thanks, Captain.
They never disappoint. Like it's spicy. Here's the mayor. Here's the mayor.
Woo! Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor.
Fuck that conversation up pretty quick. It's bedtime. Get some order around here.
Did they get order?
Dude, the cops came in, fucking code 3, dude. Sirens and lights, everything.
What?
Yeah. Why do you think they were parked on the sidewalk like that?
Oh shit.
Yeah. Supervisor came in. Yep. Sure enough. Yeah, bro. They had to get order. Order! I want some order around here. I'm the only one that can interrupt. What a shit show. Good to see you there, Jake.
Oh, yeah, man.
Golly.
Gotta give him shit.
They're ignorant.
Yeah.
Because 1995, the greatest year ever, was they did it.
Yep.
We can never do anything to do better.
Yeah. And then his whole thing, interrupting people and all
Yeah.
that shit. And then he can't handle it when I do the exact same shit back to him and tell him that's why I'm doing it.
You don't get it. You don't get it. Oh, man. The world we live in.
Yes, it is.
We streamed it live on you people's channel.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
Tell
and
him I
then,
said hi.
you people says hi. We're live. Yeah. Yeah. You would thought it was never going to end, man. That was a long meeting.
That was a good one.
Oh.
A lot of good people with a lot of good things to say.
Yeah, he's sitting there arguing about the facts with somebody who's lived through it, basically.
Yeah.
Multiple people have lived through it. Like,
I mean, fucking Jeanette was sitting there. She was held in an ICE detention center for, what did she say, 9.5 months. And she was holed up in a church for months before that, trying to keep from getting put in the detention center.
right. And he's like, I don't believe that stuff happens. It's like, okay, don't believe it, motherfucker, but it happens.
It was.
I mean, just
in the fucking room.
because you don't believe it doesn't make it not true. And he doesn't understand that. His opinion's fact in his mind.
Well, I mean, we've noticed that with a lot of people in
Yeah,
Walsenburg.
exactly.
If he's the almighty ruler, man.
Oh my gosh.
For him.
Oh, well, keep up the good work, guys. Keep them on their toes. You guys have a good night. Be safe.
Hey, show everybody the Morse code light. It's obviously sending out the signal.
The Morse code. Oh, man. I don't know, guys. Good old Dirty Berg's at it again.
Good old Dirty Berg. Well, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call this. We thank everybody for sticking around and watching. We, again, thank everybody that watches this back. I mean, that was one hell of a show. Yeah, it's calling Batman.
Look how they're all different colors, too, guys. The lights are all different shades.
Some are dim, some are bright. One's flashing. Everything's all good there.
It's good representation, right? Yeah, they had to come lights and sirens to get that meeting under control.
Well,
The chief here.
I tell you what, get back to home base. I gotta drop this off. So,
All right.
all right. Goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful evening, John. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. We'll get a hold of you on the phone.
Guys, everybody, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, buddy. Night, night.